Good evening. My name is Bandara. It's a very special day today. Do you know why? The students of Speak Academy who have completed their level 1 and level 2 in public speaking are going to perform the speeches that they have written in front of a live audience. I'm excited. Are you? I wish to begin today's event by welcoming our guest speakers, Dinuli Sahania, Abdullah Lias, Amna Azmi, Amidi Meral, Hisumi Ranavira, and Metula Gilbert. I welcome you all to 25th Speakarnival. To begin session, I wish to begin today's event by our first speaker is Alicia Natari Padidilian. And Be Careful When You Take Kids Out. Be Careful When You Take Kids Out by Alicia Natari Padidilian.
Hi everyone. It was 2019 in Derry. We went there during the April holidays with my parents. It was a very crowded Saturday evening. We had a lot of fun and while enjoying the activities of the carnival. Suddenly, I saw a little girl crying in the corner. I felt very sad. So I ran to her and asked, "Why are you crying?" She didn't reply. I tried to cheer her up, but it didn't pay off. Finally, I managed to convince her by asking, "Do you want some popcorn?" And I sang too. Strangely, she started telling me that she has missed his parents and she asked if I could find them for her. Luckily, I realized I was also in the same boat. My mother and father were invisible to me. Luckily, my mother had kept an eye on me. She ran to me and hugged me because my mother knew I was mischievous. So I had to explain the story to my father and mother about the little girl. While I was talking, the little girl had started crying again. There was a police officer next to us who was listening to our conversation. He came over and helped us to find the parents of the little girl. He took us to the information counter, an announcing counter, and made an announcement about the little girl. The short period of time, the parents of the little girl arrived to the counter. The little girl cried and clung onto her parents. The police officer and all other officers advised to keep a close eye on their children, especially in crowded environments. So friends, we should never leave our parents without their knowledge. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Nadir Noshad, an unforgettable story from my life. An unforgettable story from my life, Nadir Noshad.
Nadir will not be joining now. He will be joining later. We'll move on to the next speaker, please.
Okay. Ayatollah. A little distraction can cause great harm. A little distraction can cause great harm by Ayatollah Riaz.
Do you know why should you listen to your parents? Dear keynote speaker, coach, parents, and friends. I was nearly 5 years old. I was having a lot. Dear keynote speaker, coach, parents, and friends. It was another usual day. I played with my friends. In the evening, around 5 o'clock, I returned home. I completed my homework and sat down to watch TV. No one was around me. My uncle was studying. My mom was cooking. My father was having a shower. No one knew I had a little coin in my hand. While I was eating my snack, I forgot that it was a little coin in my hand. I swallowed that too. And guess what happened? It got stuck in my throat. I couldn't even scream. I tried to shout for help, but I could only hold my throat and choke. Luckily, my uncle heard it. He came running, and then he carried me upside down. It was like I was half dead, half alive. He shook me as hard as he could with his hands, and suddenly the coin fell off on the floor. Luckily, I was saved, and if not for my uncle, I don't know whether I would be alive today. Friends, never try to put coins in your mouth, not even for fun, because when they get stuck, a little fun might end up in a lifetime regret. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Chenuka Hettikankanamge.
I can remember the day that my Lord descended in and was filled with happiness instead. It was the day that my brother won. Growing up with him, I realized that brother is a friend that God has given us, and that friendship is a golden gift. Good evening, everyone. 14th of October 2019. Something special happened to me. Do you know what was that? My mother gave a birth to a cute baby. He was a boy. They named him Tyrannus. I was waiting impatiently without going to school to see the baby. After a little time, a door opened and a nurse came out. I was excited to know news about the baby. Then she showed me a picture. I was delighted to see him. He had chubby cheeks, fair hands, and a milky smiling face. After a few minutes, my brother arrived to the room wrapped with a blue blanket. My mother kept him in the cot. I gently went near him as possible. Suddenly, he held my hand for a few minutes. My eyes were filled with tears. Sometimes I sing beautiful songs to him to have a good sleep. Others that he loves my songs very much. He's a troublemaker to me, but I learned to be patient because of my brother. Earlier, I enjoyed everything alone, but now I know how to share with my brother. It is not an easy task to look after a baby, but I am gradually learning how to look after my brother. He's the most valuable strength in my life next to my parents. I have many friends in my school, but my best friend in this world is my brother. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Manal Vyas. Impatience can be dangerous. Impatience can be dangerous by Manal Vyas.
Do you know why should you listen to your parents? Dear keynote speakers, coach, parents, and friends, I was nearly 5 years old and I was having a lot of fun playing with my friends. I've been running a lot. I felt very thirsty. I rushed into the kitchen. I saw my mum making tea for all of us. As I was thirsty, I kept peeping into the jug. My mum said, Mana, keep away from the jug. The tea is too hot. I was too tempted to listen to my mom. As soon as my turn around towards the cups, I quickly pulled the jug of hot tea. My face, my neck, my chest all were burning. I couldn't bear the pain. I screamed. My mom was shocked to see me. She quickly removed my t-shirt and applied bee honey all over my body. After a day, I was fully recovered and back to normal. From that day onwards, I was very careful when I went to the kitchen. I also learned a very important lesson. Friends, if your parents warn you, it's better to listen because they only warn us about things that are dangerous. So listen to your parents. Thank you. Our next speaker is Akilan Sainash. Unforgettable experience in my life. Experience in my life by Akilan Sainash.
Our life is full of different events and experiences, but all of these are not equally valuable, enjoyable, and memorable. Dear keynote speaker, parents, coach, and friends, the deadly coronavirus has spread around the world. There is no drug or vaccine for the disease. Lockdown was the only option with many countries. This lockdown was my first such experience where I had to stay at home for a long period, would not have to go to school. I tried to make the best out of this lockdown. First day, I played with two of my neighborhood friends, watching television and playing indoor games. As days passed, staying at home was becoming a little too boring. I realized all the birds in the cage and animals in the room must be feeling like. I felt very sorry for them. We are locked down. We are we are locked down inside our houses, but they are locked down in cages in a strange place. So, friends, during this lockdown, let's reflect on the pain of these innocent creatures and let's try and make this world a better place for all us, including animals. Thank you.
Anna, can we have Saikrit next?
Our next speaker is Saikit.
Anna? You're on mute, Hannah.
Sir,
Right. We can hear you.
speaking isn't there.
Yes. Can we have Akhil and Saikrit next?
Hannah, can you introduce Sai Kirth next? Sai Kirth.
Yes, sir.
Our next speaker is Akilan Saikit, and his speech is the best surprise birthday. The
Dear
best surprise birthday by Akilan Saikit.
Dear keynote speaker, parents, coach, and dear keynote speaker, parents, coach, and friends. Have you ever been surprised by your family? It was late in the evening last year when I arrived home from karate class. As usual, I walked into my house, but the house was unusually quiet. I saw a beautiful football cake on the stool. I went closer and number 9 on the top. I thought for a while, and that's when I remembered. Oh my God, it was 12th of July. It was my birthday. And I heard someone yell, Happy birthday, Saikit. All the family members and friends came out from their hiding places shouting, Happy birthday to you. I was so happy and excited. I was smiling like a baby. After that, I cut the cake and served to everyone. We took many photographs and I got many gifts. My 9 days, definitely one of the most unforgettable days in my life. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Senuli Sirigampala. Sirigampala. Children have to be taken care of. Children have to be taken care of by Senuli Sirigampala.
Have you ever cried for ages after getting lost in a huge park? You may have, you may not, but that's a terrifying experience. Imagine getting lost when you're just 6. Dear keynote speaker, parents, and my dear friends, that was what exactly happened to my sister, Shanara, who's just 6 years old. One fine day, we went to a park. Me, my family, my friend, along with her family. We sat down on a quiet area under the shade of a tree. My friend and I were playing under the shade of a huge tree close to our parents. Our sisters had wanted to go to the kids playing area. So our parents discussed and came to a conclusion that my friend's dad would take the little ones to the kids playing area. So they went off. While my sister was enjoying her time, playing on a huge slide, her friend had suddenly wanted to use the restroom. You know what? She had gone away with her dad without telling my sister. Now my sister did not know anything about this. She was spending her time playing when she suddenly realized that her friend was gone. She started to panic and search everywhere around the playground till she realized that her friend was nowhere to be seen. She had searched for the friend's dad but could not find him either. A chill ran down her spine. She was lost. Soon it was sunset and utterly dark. She was walking down the cold, crowded streets of the park with no parent, no guardian to take care of her. Later on, she sat down on a bench, thinking about her parents and sobbing all by herself. Meanwhile, me, my parents, and all the other members who were with us were searching for my sister. We were all so panicked and worried. My mom was crying so much, and my dad had a red face which seemed brighter than a cherry. I was so sad. I sank down to my knees, thinking about where my sister could possibly wander off. I looked around. I saw my friend's dad. He looked so uneasy and had felt ashamed at the same time. He was really sad that he had left my sister alone. My sister said that a strange man with a brown uniform had asked her where her parents were and why she was alone. Fortunately, it was a police officer. My sister was crying at this point, but the police officer had somehow managed to get enough information from her to find our parents. She was really lucky that she knew English, else there would have been no way she communicated with the police officer. Luckily, my sister's teacher had asked her to memorize the phone numbers of our parents. The police officer called my parents, and my sister was safely brought back to us. As soon as he reunited us with our sister, he sternly advised us, "You should be very careful and responsible around little ones. They look up to you for everything, so please be extra careful and responsible when they are around." It was a day that no one could ever forget. My parents were hugging and kissing my sister. If not for that police officer, she would still be sobbing in the dark alone. My dear friends, do you have little siblings? Or maybe even cousins? You don't want them to be lost and wandering terrified in the park or anywhere else, do you? You don't want them to be in dangerous situations, do you? Then whenever you are with them, please be extra careful and responsible. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Yusuf Tarab. Have hopes, but don't have them too high. Have hopes, but don't have them too high by Yusuf Tarab.
Finally, today was the day. How does it feel when you set your expectations so high only to be disappointed in the end? Dear keynote speaker, coach, parents, and friends, when I was in grade 5, we decided to go to UAE for December school holidays. The best part of the holiday was the day we went to the world's fastest roller coaster park called Ferrari World in Yas Island, UAE. We went there with our cousins. It was the first out of the 2 countries I went to. Abu Dhabi was hot, even in the month of December. There were dead trees scattered around everywhere. Anyway, no more getting sidetracked. We were heading for Ferrari World, and we were looking forward for what roller coasters awaited us. Finally, when we got there, the staff there gave us a massive map folded up. And he said, "All the rides are here. You can choose whatever you want." It was so exciting. We really didn't know what ride to go on first. After many exclamations and ecstatic rides, we were ready for the world's fastest roller coaster. When we reached the area, an unpleasant surprise awaited us. Me, my younger sister, and one of my cousins were unable to go. My uncle pointed to another ride and said, "Let's go on this ride," to cheer us up. The ride was actually a race with moving go-karts. At least it half made up for it. After this, I learned that you can't expect a lot from everything, because when you set your expectations so high, even a drop of sadness can ruin your day. So friends, have hopes, but don't have them too high. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Rinushi Sumatiratne. Watch Your Step. Watch Your Step by Rinushi Sumatiratne.
Do you know what happens when you ignore unusual things? Hello everyone. 2 years ago, this time of day, I was walking on the stairs. Something you usually do, right? Then When I was walking up, I noticed I stepped on something sticky, but I didn't get to see what it was clearly. Then, when I was walking down, I still noticed I stepped on something again, but I didn't get to see what it was clearly yet. Then I walked up and down a few more times, and suddenly I slipped on that thing and fell rumbling down the stairs. I started screaming, ouch, ow! I was in great pain. All the people in the house came running. I had a lot of scars and bruises on my head, my hands, and my legs. And one of my fingers was broken. I was soon rushed to the hospital. Luckily, I was taken in time and my finger was fixed. Only then I knew that the sticky thing was cat poo. I started screaming, ew, how could I step on something like this? So, from that day onwards, I started wearing slippers inside and outside the house, and I looked down wherever I went. So, everyone, if you notice something unusual, stop to find out what it is before it's too late. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mushaf Noshad. The Day I Met with an Accident. The Day I Met with an Accident by Mushaf Noshad.
My dear sir and my dear colleague. Today I am going to speak a few words, the incident that happened in my life and which was a good lesson forever. When I was 10 years old, I received a beautiful bicycle from my dad for my birthday. I was very happy and I treated it like a precious gold. Thereafter, I started to ride it and I could ride very fast. My mom noticed this and told me, Mushaf, don't ride too fast. But I didn't listen to her. One day, while I was riding very fast, a terrible accident happened. I was thrown away from the bicycle. My leg was broken. I rushed to the hospital and the doctors were able to fix my leg. I had to take bed rest and medicine for 1 month. Friends, if I had listened to my mom, this would not have happened. So thereafter, I always listen to my parents' advice because they know everything and they have good experience. And after I had started listening to my parents' advice, my life has become so easy and beautiful. Thank you.
Once upon a time, there lived a boy called Sethmika. He was a passionate cricketer aspiring to be like Sangakkara. But when he was called to do a speech, he became anxious, nervous, and scared. So his parents decided to take him to Speak, a place where children got the opportunity to become great speakers. They trusted Speak to help Sethmika become a confident speaker. On his first day at Speak, Sethmika gave his first speech.
Me and my brother studies at Trinity College, Kent. My sister studies at Pushpadam Girls College. We three have a lot of fun at home.
Days, weeks, and months passed by. The day of the speech carnival arrived. Sethmika got onto the stage to do his final speech. His parents watched in anticipation, wondering if Speak would have delivered its promise. And then, this happened.
And my brother came running and flung the ball at me, trying to get me out. But I swung my bat like Sangha, hit so hard that the ball went flying like a bird and hit our neighbor's doorbell and went rolling down the garden. My two friends quickly hid. My brother went inside the house, closed the door, and I had no space to hide.
Our next speaker is Zaid Harries, The Day I Will Never Forget. The Day I Will Never Forget by Zaid Harries.
We have been stuck inside our houses for almost 2 years now. Life has become tiresome, boring, and very different from before COVID-19. So, my unforgettable day was a day outside with sunshine and laughter. It was December 2019 and my brother's birthday. My brother wanted to have a day out instead of his birthday party. So, in the morning, we went to the park. It was a great, big, and nice park. I had lots of fun. When we became hungry, we went to have lunch. I got to choose my favorite meal. I chose pizza, and for dessert, I had fruit salad with ice cream. In the evening, we went to the pool. It was a great, big, and clean pool. My favorite sport is swimming. So I can easily swim in the deep end, which is 12 feet deep. I even had a race with a boy my age who has come from abroad for vacation in Sri Lanka. It became dark. Good thing the water was warm. We had tea with cake in the poolside. It was the best day ever. I will never forget the sunshine and laughter. Thank you.
Next, we have Tashya Ranasinghe, My Most Memorable Day. My Most Memorable Day, Tashya Ranasinghe.
Dear parents, family, and friends. It was the 1st of October and my Appachi decided to take me to the beautifulest hotel, Shangri-La Hambantota. He said it was my 300th present as I'd been a good girl. And it had an amazing pool and 2 water slides and theme park and a kids area and a theme park. And there was an adventure zone, a theme park and a water park. My parents took me to the kids area and I got a chance to paint a crafted elephant. This is the crafted elephant. This elephant is nice. It was a fun experience. Next day, my Apache took me to Yala National Park, to Yala National Forest. And we went on a safari ride. And my parents took me on a safari ride as I love to see animals. We saw a leopard and a sloth bear and deers and little rabbits and lots of monkeys and birds. Tweet, tweet. I'm a little birdie. I love going to safaris. Everyone loves going to safaris. I hope the corona will be over soon and I can do lots of traveling. Thank you. I hope you enjoy my speech. Bye everyone.
Next, we have Ramindo Primaratne, An Amazing Trip to North America. An Amazing Trip to North America by Ramindo Primaratne.
Have you ever been to North America? Well, if you haven't,
Then, let me tell you, it's an amazing place to visit. Trust me, you should feel the Canadian beauty at least one day in your life. Hello, everyone. I can remember the day that I went on my best vacation ever. My mom called me, "Hurry up, Rami, the taxi is waiting outside." I quickly grabbed my coolest red color McQueen bag and ran into a taxi with my mom and dad. We came to a place filled with lights, signboards, and a lot of people. I looked out of the window and I saw several planes outside, and some of the planes were as same as my toy collection. The pilot came out and welcomed me with a high five. I ran into a window seat, which is my favorite place to be. We had delicious food and delicious drinks. Whenever I need chocolates, I press the bell button and the kind air just brings my chocolates. I looked out of the window and I saw beautiful lakes, beautiful oceans, snowy mountains, and fluffy clouds which were spread all over the area. It was mesmerizing to see. We were in the aeroplane for a long time, and finally we landed. My dad told me with a beaming smile, "Rami, do now we at Canada." I saw a huge board saying Ottawa International Airport. I was really excited to get snow in the freezing cold. My wish was to make a snowman, make a snow angel, have snowball fights with my friends, and play in the snow. It was Christmas Eve in Ontario with colorful Christmas decorations were everywhere. I wish I could meet Santa there. It was my best experience in my life. I thought it was like going to Wonderland. We started to walk around the city. I was holding my mom's hand and I was looking at the huge, gigantic, tall buildings which was covered with glowing lights, snow, and Christmas decorations. I forgot to concentrate on the road and I suddenly slipped on an ice puddle. I suddenly heard my mom calling me, "Hurry up, Rami, the school bus is waiting outside." Oh no, it was just a dream. But one day I'll make my dream come true. But hey, at least I got to go to Canada in my dream. And do you know the best part of it? The holiday felt like it was real. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Yatumi Nalinsa Hera. I Hate Policing, Do You? I Hate Policing, Do You by Yatumi Nalinsa Hera. Hello everyone. Are you ready to make a chutney? Let's look at these two pictures. The first picture is full of garbage and the next one seems very clean and the garbage is disposed at the right place. Let's look at our home. In our day-to-day life, we buy fruits, vegetables and many more. Some fruits and vegetables are packed in polythene. After eating these fruits and vegetables, the polythene is thrown to the environment. Some people burn these materials, while some bury these materials in the soil. My friends, polythene are dangerous materials. Once it is burned, the toxic gases are released to the air. As a result, air pollution occurs. Once we inhale these gases, we get various kinds of illnesses. Although it is buried, it cannot be decomposed by the microbes, and those materials retain in the soil for a long time and pollute the ground. What we can do as the small children? We have to follow our method. And what is it? It's reduce, reuse, and recycle. My friends, shall we bring a gummy bag or a cloth bag when we are going to shopping? Other than that, we can use the same poly bag again and again. Further, we can put the polythene at the right place for making new polythene bags using them. As small children, we can beautify our earth. Are you ready for the challenge? Yes, I am.
Next, we have Tarun Sitmaka Galapati. What do you know about weather? What do you know about weather by Tarun Sitmaka Galapati?
Have you wondered how beautiful and amazing the different weathers are? Good day, everybody. This is a poster. This is a poster which I made for my science lesson. There are 6 weather symbols. The first weather symbol is storm. Stormy days are cold. We have to wear heavy clothes because of hostile weather. Trees will be swayed and some trees are uprooted too. It thunders with lightning. During stormy days, we can't go out to play because it is dangerous. The second symbol is rain. Rainy days are also cold. Wind blows, trees sway, raindrops fall like this. Our compounds and roads will be filled with water. If we go out, we get wet. But do you know what is fun about rain? We can make paper boats and put them into the water. The third symbol is the sun. On sunny days, sun shines brightly in the sky. Sunny days are very hot. We usually wear cotton clothes. We can dry our clothes on sunny days. I like sunny days because I can play outside. This is the symbol of windy weather. Windy days are cold, but we can fly kites on windy days. We should not stay under trees on windy days because wind blows heavily. Fifth weather symbol is cloudy. Cloudy days are warm. Clouds are very heavy and they bring rain. Last weather symbol is the snow. In Sri Lanka, we don't have snow. Snowy days are very cold and we have to wear several layers of clothes. We have to stay indoors and should drink a lot of water. I wish to play with snow and make a snowman. Don't you think that different kinds of feathers are amazing? Thank you.
Next, we have Yashasvi Bhavyarana. Danger was lurking just by the door. Danger was lurking just by the door by Yashasvi Bhavyarana.
Can you think of a day that you never forget? Well, I have one such day. The day is still fresh in my memory. I can still feel the horrifying accent I had that day. Dear family, friends, and guests. It was around 3:30 in the evening on a rainy day. I was playing alone inside my house near a massive door which was removed for some repair. I failed to open the door so I can get in between the door and wall. I just touched the doorknob and the door came towards me. I kept my hand to stop the door, but I was too tiny for the giant door. I fell down and the door fell down on my body. I was so scared. I screamed as loud as I can. Mommy! My mommy heard and ran to my aid like a flash. She took me out and started screaming for help. And then she started weeping like crazy. I was so worried about my mommy more than my pain. All of my neighbors ran into my house. My uncle came in his car to take me to the hospital. We were rushed to the hospital. They took us to the emergency ward. When all the tests and x-rays were done, thank God, I was only safe with minor injuries. They admitted me to observe if there's any internal bleeding. They admitted me for 3 days. My mommy didn't sleep even a single day. When they discharged me, I went home and think, what will happen to my mommy if something happened to me? I learned a very important lesson. I promised my mommy I will never go to dangerous places and never disobey her ever again. Thank you.
Next, we have Don, Dwayne, Sen, and Ayaka, a friend who became my best friend. A friend who became my best friend by Don, Dwayne, Sen, and Ayaka.
Oh my God. Is that hard? Do you have a best friend you can speak about? Hello everyone. I met my best friend at the nursery. His name is Ramidu. We were in the same class. He is a very good boy and funny too. Sometimes we would go to his house and play. One day, when my parents came to pick me up from his house, Ramidu asked me to hide. So then my parents won't be able to take me back. But when I had to leave, we both started crying. That's how much I love to spend time with him. But on the first day, when I visited his house, something unforgettable happened. We both were cycling on the road and then we came across the dangerous log. I was a little bit scared, so I rode on my bicycle carefully. But my friend went down at a high speed. He couldn't control his bicycle. Suddenly, he banged on a wall and was thrown away from his bicycle. He hurt his leg very badly. Both of our mothers shouted, "Oh, Ramidu!" Because sometimes that road is very busy with vehicles. It was a terrifying day for all of us. But after that, we had a lot of fun. In these days, we chat over video calls and sometimes we put messages to each other too. Recently, he sent me a letter. Do you want to see the letter? Here it is. He has drawn us in the letter. We hope to meet each other soon because we had a lot of experiences to share. I love Ramidu. He will be my best friend forever. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Amna Ashik. Unforgettable Day of My Life. The Unforgettable Day of My Life by Amna Ashik.
There is a famous saying that wherever we go, we should go very carefully. Hello everyone, it was a bright sunny day, and my dad decided to take us on a trip. I was so excited playing around. The only thing was left was the beach. So our dad took us to the beach.
I enjoyed making sandcastles, played in the shore, enjoyed playing the waves. We took lots of pictures too. It was the very first time my little sister Alina went to the beach. She was thrilled. She ran in excitement. She couldn't control herself. Suddenly a huge wave came towards her. She washed away. My mom and elder sister ran towards her. But my mom toppled off. My elder sister was able to take her out. I know that when my mom and elder sister screaming because I was busy making sandcastles. After she came from the water, she didn't cry because our heartbeat was about to stop. That is my most unforgettable day in my life. Thank you.
Next, we have Kushal Divapriya. Transformers. Transformers by Kushal Divapriya.
You can start, Kushal.
Imagine the word controller. Would you like it? Hello, my dear family, friends, and guests. Let me tell you about Transformers. Transformers can transform into machines, vehicles, and other mega things. Their planet, Cybertron, is their home. There are two kinds of Transformers, Autobots and Decepticons. Autobots are good robots, Decepticons are bad robots. Both are humanoid robots. They are using artificial intelligence. Today, I'm going to cover two Autobots and two Decepticons. First Autobot is Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime is the leader of the Autobots. He's committed to save the world from the Decepticons. His colors are red and blue. Second Autobot is Bumblebee. Bumblebee is the leader of the Earth. It's an unstoppable party machine. Loves playing black than its Autobot buddies. His colors are red, yellow, and black. Then we introduce two bad robots, the Decepticons. First Decepticon is Lord Megatron. Lord Megatron is the leader of the Decepticons. His real name is D16. He transforms into a P-38 handgun. Next Decepticon is Shockwave. Shockwave is a master of solving mathematical equation. He has only one eye and is the strongest robot in the world. Do you know his side I'm on? I love Autobots because they're heroes. But the secret robots don't take over the world. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Vino Amisha. The Unforgettable Day of My Life. The Unforgettable Day of My Life by Vino Amisha.
Have you ever lost something close to your heart? Hello everyone. A few months ago, I had a squirrel. It was a cute little squirrel. I fed him bread a minute. It grown up faster. One day, me and Mommy kept the squirrel in a bucket and kept the bucket inside our bed and closed the door and went out. But we forgot to close the door. We didn't realize how big a mistake that was. In the evening, when we came home, our mommy saw our cat was catching something with its mouth and ran away. My mommy quickly went upstairs, opened the door, and took the bucket. But the bucket was empty. The lid was opened. We realized what had happened. All the family chased the cat, but we couldn't catch him because he's very fast running to the moon. That is the saddest day ever to me and the unforgettable day of my life too. Friends, if you have something precious, make sure you take care of them well. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Yogeshwaran Ridwash. My Trip to Pasikuda. My Trip to Pasikuda by Yogeshwaran Ridwash.
It appears that Ridvesh is not here. We'll move on to the next speaker, please.
Ayla Al Arafat. The Secret Visit to the Haunted Theme Park. The Secret Visit to the Haunted Theme Park by Ayla Al Arafat.
The Secret Visit to the Haunted Park. I got me some bored when they advised, don't do this, don't do that. But their words carried a lot of wisdom. Hello everyone. A gloomy sky, dingy and haunting. That was where I was. It was a gloomy evening when I was playing cricket with my brother. He ran early near a theme park which was closed many years ago due to the death of the theme park owner's daughter Angela. Poor girl, she died because roller coaster collapsed. As we were playing cheerfully, my brother Yahya gave a hard kick to the ball. And unfortunately, the ball flew to the abandoned pickup. We went rushing to pick the ball. I was bound to go behind him. But my heart pounded, ears were shut. The only thing I could hear was my mom's words. Never dare to go to the theme park. I whispered it to my brother, but he neglected as usual. But I had to follow him because it was his precious ball. I took a deep breath as I remembered my mother telling about its childhood memories of the park. We saw this signboard which said, "Warning, do not enter." My God, son, right. But without any delay, we climbed the old rusty gate and stepped inside. The eager to see inside the deserted park made us go further and further. The ball was nowhere to be seen. Amidst the park, we saw the graveyard of the little girl. Since we knew the tragic story of little Angela, we went closer. It grew darker and dark. Suddenly, we felt a bad vibration with the hail and wind, with the feeling like sound good and our blood. Help! Help! We shouted each other. Where have you all gone? I heard my mom's voice in my ear, so we ran home and pretended that nothing happened. That was an unforgettable experience in my life. The secret was kept between us. I would never enter the theme park again at any cost. Someone stick to your mother's advice. Thank you.
Next, we have Ranut Natika Aryaratna. The planet I would visit if I had my own rocket ship. What planet I would visit if I had my own rocket ship by Ranut Natika Aryaratna.
Rocket ship? Hello everyone. What are planets? Planets are kind of like asteroids around the sun. There are 8 planets in the solar system. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. If I were to choose a planet that I would visit if I have my own rocket ship, it would definitely be Mars. Mars is the 4th planet in the solar system. It is cold. The average temperature on Mars is -80 degrees. Mars is called the red planet. After Mercury and Venus, Mars would almost be breathe of fresh air, except not because you can't breathe the air on Mars. Smart people like Elon Musk have plans to colonize Mars, and it is indeed great news. I would try to make Mars totally Earth, as no other planet can support life as wonderfully as the Earth does. I will try to make a pure environment on Mars if we are the first human to visit Mars. So please hope that one day I would have my own rocket ship to visit Mars. I hope too that one day my dreams come true. Thank you.
Next, we have Lukman Arsa. A heart-thumping moment with my pet. A heart-thumping moment with my pet by Lukman Arsa. Our next speaker is Lukman Arsa. A heart-thumping moment with my pet. A heart-thumping moment with my pet by Lukman Arsa.
Lukman, you are on mute. Unmute yourself and then you can start speaking,
Have
please.
you all learned a lesson in a few seconds? Good evening, my dear friends. I'm here to introduce you
to my loving pet who taught me a lesson. His name is Rio and he is just 2 months old and he is a cockatiel. He is from the continent of Australia. Rio is still hand-fed. Rio is still hand-fed. I even get help from my dad and my sister. I even get beaten up for not learning how to feed Rio in the right way. Last month, we had a major incident. Rio flew into the pond and drowned in the water. But my brother Bilal was quick to action. He dived into the pond and rescued him out like a superhero. We all felt so sorry for Rio. Rio was quiet rest of the day. Now, whenever we walk by the pond, we always remember the lesson we learned. A lesson is a life-changing moment. That's a little about my loving pet Rio. Thank you.
Next, we have Nadir Naushad. An unforgettable story from my life. An unforgettable story from my life by Nadir Naushad.
There are incidents lives, but some of them becomes memorable ones. Teachers and friends. I have suffered a lot due to my carelessness. I still remember the moment when the phone rang and my mom picked it up, and our next door aunt was telling about the accident I had yesterday. I was speechless because after the accident, I was thinking whether I should tell my mom about the incident or not, and I decided not to. But then the cat was out of the bag, and my mom felt that something bad has happened. She saw it in my face and immediately began questioning me. Nadir, what happened yesterday? I had no choice but to tell her what happened, and I told her that I was involved in an accident with my bike and how I had to deal with the pain for hours with my right elbow. And I told her, Mom, I'm sorry because I was scared that you won't let me to play again. Then my mom rushed me to the hospital. Then the doctor checked me and he said that you are late. That caused me to get stuck in one place for 14 days with a heavy bandage. It was very terrible and unbearable. The accident taught me a life lesson. Then I realized that no matter what happens, we should be frank to our beloved parents and take necessary precaution early as possible. Thank you.
Now we have Yogeshwaran Ridwash. My Trip to Pasikuda. My Trip to Pasikuda by Yogeshwaran Ridwash.
How many of you all missed going on trips during this COVID? I am pretty sure there's a lot who missed it. Their parents, family, and friends. A very good evening. Back then when we had school in person and we get our vacation on April, so that is the best holiday ever. So during one of the April holidays, we visited Pasikuda on a stay. Myself, my father, mother, sisters, and my aunt and uncle went together. Early morning, after having a breakfast, we got into the car. While we are traveling, my uncle and aunt joined us. On the way to Pasikuda, we saw some elephants, peacocks, snakes, and lizards. We stayed in a hotel called Malu Malu. I was super excited to see the beach and the swimming pool. I told my father, Papa, shall we go to the swimming pool, please? Just now we reached it and the pool is closed. So let's leave after taking some good rest. After taking some good rest, my father told we may go to the pool now. After playing on the pool, we may go to the beach. I was super excited. When we went to the beach, I built a sand castle. Then a sudden big wave came and washed my sand castle away. I was so sad and upset. After playing on the beach, we had our lunch. The next morning, we went on a walk. There I saw some corals, tiny crabs, and sea snails. Afterwards, we went on a boat ride and it had a glass below. From the glass, we could see some corals and fishes. And in those fishes, I spot Nemo and Dory. After the boat ride, we collected corals and seashells on the shore. In the evening, we had a good coffee and had some rest and had a dinner. It was time to leave and go back home, but I was not happy. I wanted to stay there for all day long, but my father told we must go home because the school was to reopen. After reaching home, I took a wash, packed my bag, and went off to bed. The next morning after I had to go to school and I was super excited to share the story of my trip to Passikula with my friends. Have you all been excited to share your stories? Yes, I have been because the sharing delightful moments makes me happy. Thank you.
I started at year 1. There was PG and KG, but I didn't start from that because I already had went to the nursery.
But guess what I did? I started playing games.
Is to be another scientist, and that will be one reason too.
The people around me took the notice of my change and they said, Amy, oh, how dark you've become.
My friend's name is Huda. She is 9 years old. Her favorite color is black.
Your legs start to shiver. Your heart is a pounding drum. Your brain sizzles furiously.
The time has arrived. The wait is over. It's time to listen to our very special guest speakers. The 25th Speakarnival, as you know, is a very special occasion. That is why we decided to invite a unique panel of guests. For the very first time in the history of Speakarnivals, our guest speakers are not only a panel, but they are also students of Speak. Isn't that great? I have immense pleasure in welcoming the guest speakers of the 25th Speak Carnival. Ismi Ranavira, Amna Azmi, Amy D. Meral, Abdullah Ilyas, Dinuli Sahanya, and Netula Gilbert. The panel discussion will be moderated by Haya Fariz, who is also a student at Speak. Haya, it's over to you.
Good evening, parents, guests, friends, and guest speakers. Guess what? This is my first time being a moderator. To be honest, I don't even know the word. I was told that I should moderate this session and make it more interesting. So let me give it a try. Good evening. Good evening, parents, guests, friends, and guest speakers. Guess what? This is my first time being a moderator. To be honest, I don't even know the word. I was told that I should moderate this session and make it more interesting. So I'll give it a try. My first question goes to Disney. Hi Disney, how are you? That's great. Can you share your experience at Speak with us?
I'm the director of the Speak to Lead Speak Lab launched by Speak just a few months ago. So when I talk about my Speak experience, it's been outstanding. Speak is kind of responsible for half the present me, like my self-confidence, my abilities, my self-esteem, everything. Before I joined Speak, I was a fraidy cat. I was scared to speak or literally do anything else, even in front of my own family, like my mom, dad, and my sister. I was that scared. But after I joined Speak, Sir helped me find out that I had the ability to speak in front of a large audience. And all I had to do was just brush up my self confidence a bit. And everything else was within me without me even knowing it. The classes here in Speak are also super fun. I can say this because I remember my first class in Speak. I begged my parents saying I didn't want to go before the class. They actually came and sat in front of me for the whole 2 hours, making sure I didn't run away. But after like half an hour, the class became super fun. And in the end, I didn't want to leave. Now, this is the place I come to escape. I join like half an hour early to get away from all the homework and everything else I have to do. I love it that much. So I'd like to thank my dad for enrolling me here and Sir for helping me find out that I had the ability to speak in front of a large audience and help me improve my public speaking skills. So with that, I'd like to thank Speak again for helping me develop my skills, my personality, and my confidence. Thank you so much.
That was a wonderful speech. The next speaker is Nethala. Hi Nethala, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Nethala, can you share your experience at Speak with us?
Thank you, Haya. Okay, well, good evening, everyone. I'm sure that the Speakarnival is one of the most exciting times in your life. It was for me too, because that was the day I got to give my speech confidently in front of a live audience. But take a moment to remember the first day that you joined Speak. Do you remember how you felt? I remember the first day that I joined Speak. Just like you might have been on your first, I was curious too and was looking forward for the session. At the beginning, I felt a little nervous, but step by step, I started to enjoy the learning process. There were a lot of students from different backgrounds with different exposures. We became friends quickly. And so far, the journey has been amazing. I followed level 1, level 2, and now I am a member of Speak Club. I have learned a lot about giving speeches, debating, evaluating, and a lot more. We shared stories with our friends. We shared experiences and laughed together. And the best part was I had fun during this entire learning process. Our coaches were really friendly and showed us how to enjoy our speeches. Our coach, Mr. Faviz, was really supportive and motivated us to perform the best of our abilities. My dear friends, Speak has transformed me into who I am today. Speak is all about learning, having fun, and we get to make a lot of friends as well. I know you all enjoyed these sessions as much as I did. Keep learning and improving yourself. Wish you the very best for your future. Thank you.
That was a really good speech, Nakada. The next speaker is Abdullah. Hi, Abdullah. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Can you share your experience with Speak with us?
Yes. Hi, I'm Abdullah. I really liked Speak and I was really nervous at first. Well, this is how it all started. I've always been very nervous when I wanted to speak with people, whether it be virtually or in person. Thankfully, my family has been very supportive in making me improve my public speaking skills. And fortunately, I got to hear about Speak from a friend's mom. At first, I was kind of skeptical to join because it was online. You had to make speeches, you had to talk with other people, and I didn't like the idea. But now that I'm looking back at that decision, I realized that it was a really good decision that I joined. Because now I've learned to better overcome nervousness, better structure my speeches, use vocal variety, and use non-verbal communications, and do so much more. Also, Speak lets you get into this really good public speaking club called Speak Club, where not only can you improve your public speaking skills, but also your leadership skills. On special occasions, we get together to do awesome stuff. I've learned to work with a team, plan, manage time, set goals, and do so much more. It has been a very unique journey of its own. Thank you.
That was a beautiful speech. The next speaker is Amy. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Can you share your experience at Speak with us?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. I've started Speak exactly 1 year ago, and since then, I've noticed a huge improvement in my personality. I remember the first project at Speak. I had to speak about myself. I had no burger method in my speech, no hand gestures, no facial expressions, no eye contact either. But when I look at the recording of my last speech, I can't even believe that it was me. Here at Speak, I learned lots of things apart from learning to speak. Though my ambition is to become a NASA scientist, I tried out Speak because I wanted to become a great leader, and I knew that this is the right place for me to try it out. As per, this improved my creativity, writing skills, And as I never thought that this will affect my personality, it did. And for all of this, there was my coach Sir Farviz lending a helping hand for me to open up. So I would make this a moment to say a big thank you for his uttermost commitment for me. Finally, my invitation for all of you is to try out Speak because it helps you find who you really are. Thank you.
That was a great speech. The next speaker is Dinuli. Hi Dinuli, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Can you share your experience at Speak with us?
Yes, of course. Last year, my mother came to me and asked, would you like to join an online public speaking class? Then I said, what? That was the first time I've ever heard the words public speaking. It's true that I love to speak with others, but I had never even thought of speaking in front of a huge audience. When I started public speaking classes with Speak, I learned an exceptional lesson. That is, if you want to swim, you must jump into the water and start swimming. If you fear the water, you'll never be able to achieve your dream. So I started my very first lessons with Speak Academy. Our Farway's Imamuddin, taught us to write our own speeches using Burger method and also gave opportunity to practice in front of the class. All the instructors did not forget to give positive feedbacks to improve our speaking ability. I had a fabulous time learning in Speak Academy and I completed level 1 and level 2. The learning process was enjoyable and learning the environment was really safe. So I didn't feel nervous or scared when I made mistakes. All instructors were very warm and paid attention to each and every child. So, my dear friends, I strongly believe that you have selected the perfect place to improve your speaking ability. I wish you all the best.
That was a very good speech, Dinali. The next speaker is Amna. Hi Amna, how are you?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm fine, thank you. Can you share your experience at Speak with us?
Sure. Once, there was an unlit candle who was scared to come out to show her talent and shine. Suddenly, a light shone nearby, and she went towards it. Another candle, along with many others, showed her light and what it's like to be confident. She then realized she'd been living in fear of the world in the dark and wanted to break free. The candles showed her the way, taught her what it's like to express ideas, and helped her shine. The candles were everyone who helped me at Speak, and I was the unlit candle who has now risen above her fears. Speak has brought light into my life, overcoming my fears, letting me express ideas, letting me hear others' ideas, and helping me be a leader. Speak is one of the greatest miracles I've come across. When I was younger, if I had a doubt at school or anywhere, I wouldn't open my mouth even if I was asked. I was too scared of what others would think. But after coming across Speak, talking and asking questions have become my favorite things to do. So it's quite clear how much Speak has brought a change into my life. I remember my first Speakarnival. I refused to deliver my first speech on stage because I was scared, so I cried the entire time backstage. Then, when the chief guest was delivering his speech, he told a story where an eagle was raised by a chicken, and when the eagle grew up, it wanted to fly like other eagles. But it didn't. Why? Because the chicken told it that it would fail, and so the eagle died a chicken because he feared to be a leader. The chief guest then called my name so I can deliver my speech. At that time, it was like I got possessed by my brave side. I remembered this quote. Let go of the chicken you are holding onto and let the eagle inside you fly. I went up on stage and delivered my speech bravely. At Speak, you meet many great people, and sometimes they can change the way you live and think by small words and actions. Speak has changed my life, and I am really grateful for that. Thank you.
That was great. Now it's time to open the floors for questions. If any one of you has a question for our panel of speakers, please let us know and the Zoom host will spotlight you.
Do any of the kids or parents, for that matter, have any questions for the panel of speakers? If you have, you may shoot. If they can, they'll take it out. No one? If there's no one, can I ask you a question?
Okay, sir.
All right, okay. This question, anyone can take this, right? Is there any interesting experience at Speak that you would like to share?
Yes.
Something that is etched in your mind that you would like to share with us? Anyone?
Sir, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
The most interesting part is when people give our evaluations and they give no negative points. Like only if they give 2 or 3 negative points about our speech and give us just some improvements. That's the most enjoyable part.
Right, okay. That's very interesting. Thank you. How about our panel of speakers? Do you have any interesting experiences that you would like to share?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Abdullah.
So the first time I played Kahoot, it was very interesting when we introduced this new session. It was so fun. I really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And you introduced it.
Yes.
Okay, that's
It's
good.
actually just one of many interesting experiences. So
That's nice.
Sir, I have one.
Yes, Dilul, yeah, go ahead.
You taught us to write our own speeches using the burger method you taught us, and you're so friendly.
Okay, that's great. That's nice to hear. Anyone else? Yeah, Tisumi, yeah. I think you're inaudible.
Sir?
Yeah, Tisumi, yeah, Netula, you can go ahead. Tisumi has to say something, and then Netula, you can go after her.
I still remember the way that you introduced yourself.
All right, okay. How was that?
You not like a silly story. Yeah, you are going to jump from part of the house.
Oh yeah, yeah. When the monkeys chased me.
Yeah, yeah. No, you played with your brother's ball.
That's good. You still remember? Man.
It went up to the roof. Monkey, you just jumped and slammed the door at them.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. I don't know whether I would be alive right now if I had not jumped from that roof that day. And listen, don't try this at home, by the way. This was something that I was not supposed to do because I was not supposed to climb on the rooftop in the first place, but I climbed, and that was the lesson I learned, right? Never climb on rooftops, especially when you're kids. That's what.
Sir?
Yeah.
You climbed the roof because of your brother's ball. You jumped from it because of the monkey.
Exactly. I climbed because I knew that when my brother gets back home and when he gets to know that I've lost his ball, he's gonna make my life terrible. he's going to be really mad. So I had to climb up and get that ball somehow, but it turned out to be an unforgettable experience. Who knew? Anyway, Tisumi, you were going to say something.
Every week when I used to join the classes in Speak, I couldn't wait until you introduced the new topic, as in like what we are learning that week. Because everything's wrapped up in games and it's so fun to learn new things. I don't get that serious feel I'm learning. It's just wrapped up in games, and when you think back, you've learned a lot.
That's nice to hear. Yeah. So it's not just learning, right? But it's having fun as well while you're learning. But I think, that's the best way of learning. Because when you have fun, your mind just absorbs things without you even knowing. That's what you meant, right? You're not conscious of it, but end of the day, when you turn around and look back at it, you're like, I've learned so much. Yeah.
Actually, I had this journal where I wrote down every day what I've learned.
Really?
And I didn't really I used to write down what I've learned. I used that book to write my speeches. I checked it on my first Speakarnival and then my second, and I've learned a lot every day, but I don't really feel that.
Wow, that's very, very interesting.
So can Shahil say?
Yes, Shahilia, go ahead, please jump in.
When I do speeches normally at events and all, I feel little nervous, but when I do it in Speak, I don't feel that nervous.
That's
can I?
Yeah, that's very nice to. Yes, someone else. Yeah, Rehan. Rehan, yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, okay, wait, sir. Like, into my knowledge, everyone can teach, that's for sure. But sir's creativity of teaching and the method is fabulous. That's the reason I loved Speak.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Sir,
Yeah,
sir, I've got something to tell to everyone.
go ahead.
Sir, it's the way that you teach the students. You're really confident, you're friendly, you're funny, and it always like helps us improve. Like you always tell something good about our speech, and then after that you always like tell the students to like improve a little bit on this and that, and you always are really like you talk with the students. That's why I love Speak.
Thank you. Thank you. I personally believe, looking back at when I was a kid, I always wanted someone who would approach me like this, because I think, even as adults, we like it when people, in fact, not talk down to us, but when they approach us with an open mind and expect, listen to us before they actually indoctrinate or impart what they have, right? We feel respected, we feel valued, and add to that some games and fun. Now it becomes a lot more interesting. And now once when the ground is set, when the environment is set, now you can actually come out with whatever you have to share with your audience, and then learning happens. I think that is what is happening at Speak. All right, I think we can leave the rest, because for the co-chair speeches, because maybe we might have some time for question and answer at that point as well. So Haya, we can end this session because we have another batch that has to complete their speeches. Thank you, guest speakers. And by the way, for the very first time in Speak's history, we have our own students as guest speakers. So you have set the stage and you have set it aflame. So good job. Right? And Amna, the chief guest's name that is Nuwan Disanaik. I think we should mention his name because he did a fabulous job, right, that day, by pointing at you and calling you out. Hopefully he's listening now. Yeah. Okay, Haya, you can wrap it up.
So that brings our panel discussion of guest speakers to an end. Thank you. That was an exciting session. Thank you to our panel of speakers, Tisumi, Nathula, Abdullah, Amy, Tinuli, and Amna, and our lovely audience. Good night and keep safe. Thank you.
Now we have Dustin Sarah Tilakaratne. If there is a will, there is a way. If there is a will, there is a way by Dustin Sarah Tilakaratne.
As a former professional basketball player, Michael Jordan once said, "Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it." Greetings to you all. Have you ever felt that you really wanted something in life, but got discouraged by something or someone? Yeah. Generally, all of us have a goal in life which we work to achieve. However, the final goal is achieved only by the people who have a strong willpower and who work hard with complete dedication. Willpower is a strong driving force that aids you into achieving your goal. Behind every success story, a strong willpower is accompanied by efforts. Whether it is a conquest to the moon or the Mount Everest, a strong willpower helps achieve success. When I was 7 years old, I took up karate as an extracurricular activity. I was so enthusiastic to join every session, and I did my best. I practiced really hard as my dream was to represent my alma mater. After years of practice and hard work, finally, when I was 9 years, I was selected to take part in my very first karate tournament. I still remember I was so over the moon. I was anxiously counting the days for the tournament. I still remember I woke up very early and got dressed in my karate kit and proudly went to the stadium with my parents. When I had just climbed the stairs, I remember somebody knocking me, and before I could even think what could happen, I went tumbling down the stairs. It took me a moment to realize what had happened. Suddenly, I heard my father saying, "Are you all right, Tuhas? Did you get hurt?" I tried to get up, and at once I realized I hurt my leg. I felt so sad and embarrassed. I knew after so many years of practice, I cannot give up at this point. So I told myself, no matter what, I am going to participate in this tournament. Once it was my turn, I heard the cheering of the audience, and I felt very proud and happy that I almost forgot the pain in my leg. I took part in my event, forgetting the pain in my leg, and guess what? I was able to win a silver medal for my alma mater. I felt so happy and proud that my hard work and determination had paid off. Friends, the next time, if you really want something in life, don't give it up for anyone or anything. Focus on your dream and achieve it. Like Napoleon once said, nothing is impossible. He proved his words by his work. Therefore, strengthen your will, be focused on your goal, and you will find that success is bound to come. Always remember that the word impossible itself says, "I'm possible."
Next, we have Yasis Sirivardhana. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes by Yasis Sirivardhana.
Do you think you can escape when you do something wrong, such as stealing? I know the answer to that question. Dear keynote speaker, coach, parents, and friends, when I was in grade 3, I love chess. But I didn't have a chessboard to play chess at home. One day in a school, my friend Minuka brought his chessboard to school. When I saw that, I wanted that chessboard. Guess what I did? I stole it. When I went home, I told my parents that I won a chess tournament in our school and this chessboard was the gift. But my parents didn't believe it. So my father said, "Okay, let's thank the chess teacher." Then my mother accepted it. Yes, we have to thank the teacher. Then I thought, man, what's happening? I'm finished. Then I said to my dad, no, dad, I thanked the teacher, so no need to thank him now. But my parents said, but we didn't. So I hadn't any choice. So I said the truth to my parents. Mom, Dad, look, I didn't win a chess tournament. I stole this chess from my friend Minuka. Then I thought my father and mother will punish me. But they didn't. Instead, my father said, I know that you're disappointed about what you did and you said the truth to us. That's why I'm not punishing you. But you have to say sorry to Minuka. After that day, I said sorry to Minuka and gave his chessboard to him. My father was so happy that he brought me a chessboard. The following year, there was a chess tournament. In that tournament, I became the champion. So, my dear friends, always remember, what happens in dark always come to light. If you do something wrong, don't think you can get away with it. Most important, if you realize you did something wrong, admit it. There's no shame while you're willing to change. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Ipsa Virasanghe. What's a Mess? What's a Mess by Ipsa Virasanghe.
When you are asked to take a responsibility, it's okay for you or me to look away for a moment, right? My dear keynote speaker, coach, parents, and friends, I got a very practical answer for that question. About 4 years ago, I was 7 years old, and my younger sister had just turned 1. Wore a diaper and was roaming around the house curiously. It was nighttime, and the very next day, we had to attend to a birthday party. My parents were rushing here and there. Honey, bring the vegetables. Pass me the bowl. I was too young to help. In fact, I was in charge of the baby. While me and my parents prepared dinner for us, for the big day tomorrow, I had to play with my sister. Everything was all good when suddenly I remembered that I had to finish some homework. I kept my sister on the quill and told her not to move. I thought to myself, since the quill is very close to the kitchen, oh, nothing to worry. But I soon realized that I did a big mistake. Quick fact about my sister. She's half a foot tall, with a bob cut hair, and she loves exploring. But she's very curious. Back in the kitchen, my father had forgotten to close the lid of a cooking oil bottle, which he had opened to use for the food. Knowing my father was not unusual, but surprisingly, he had kept it at the edge of the kitchen table. Quick fact about my father. He is very clumsy and very easygoing. My sister sprang into action, got hold of the slab, pulled herself up. But she had pulled the wrong thing. The last thing I heard was an ah! 1-liter oil bottle had tipped, had tossed, had turned, and finally had spilled and was dripping down my sister's head. She was like a slippery fish. She was sliding here and there in the house. My mom was shocked. She couldn't even hold the baby because she was very slippery. After many tries, we got hold of my sister. We put her in the bathroom and my mom carried on washing her. I don't think that this was an easy task. After washing my sister, Mommy came near Daddy. Honey, who opened the oil bottle? Me? Honey, now tell me, did you close the oil bottle? No, dear. Didn't you think that there was a baby in the house? Why on earth does a baby need an oil bottle? Well, the conversation carried, and fast forwarding to half an hour later, the conversation ended, and my father was forgiven by my mother, but the kitchen was a complete mess. And my father was given to clean the whole kitchen. But still, after 1 week, my sister was slippery. She had to bathe quite a lot of times to get all that oil out. I wonder whether she drank some too. My dear friends, when you are given a responsibility, don't ever look away for a moment. Always take that responsibility seriously. And if we slip away, then it will cause lots of slippery moments.
Next, we have Pirna Satasivan, Self-Control. Self-Control by Pirna Satasivan.
Every negative incident has a positive intent. Look for the bright side that whatever comes into your life, see the positive message from that incident. Hello everyone! I was in grade 5 and I was doing karate. It was my favorite sport, but I don't know. One day it ended up harming with someone using that. Before that days, I was very happy in my life. That day arrived. It was my ISKC International School Karate Championship. I went happily to that tournament and I played hard and I won 1 medal. It was my first medal in my karate life. Then I started to do kumite. A kumite is a combat sport that 2 players fight using karate. The time arrived, I was in the ring with the opponent. I got nervous and not in a self-control. Suddenly, I kicked on my opponent's face. He was badly hurted. The blood was oozing from his mouth. The judges disqualifies me from the ring. And I went out of the ring. And I went ashamed. So friends, no matter what you do, it is important that you control your emotions even at home. Because when you lose your self-control, you not only end up harming others, but you end up harming yourself too. So stay calm and collect at all times. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jamila Rizwan. Hard work never fails. Hard work never fails by Jamila Rizwan.
Have you ever tried something which is completely new to you and end up loving it so much because you became really good at it?
Dear keynote speaker, parents, coach, and friends. One day, back in grade 7, I saw this notice on the notice board saying, Scrabble classes to begin. Students who are interested to join can give your name to the teacher in charge. And at that time, I knew nothing about Scrabble, literally nothing other than it was a game. But since I'm someone who is really curious and want to take a risk and explore and experience new things, I decided to join. That evening, I went home. I told my mom, Mom, I saw this thing on notice board. Do you think I have to join? She said, Do you think you have to? Because you know nothing about. Do you want to take a risk? I said, Yes, Mom, I want to take a risk. Then she said, Okay, then enroll for it. And that's when my Scrabble journey began. When I went to the first class, I knew absolutely nothing. I was as new as a newborn baby. And my classmates who came were so good at it, and I felt like I was worse than an amateur. And my first game was against the girls who knew Scrabble really well. But from then on, I learned every single thing from the basics. From how many letters is supposed to be in the rack, how to tally a score, so on and so forth. I used to lose almost all my games with huge margins. I used to go through ups and downs, but since I was interested in it, I still learned it. Days passed by, and my coach came to us and said, I'm choosing a team of 5 for an upcoming championship. And for obvious reasons, I wasn't selected. But I thought to myself at that time, if they can do it and go for competitions, I can do it and go for competitions too. And that was my determination at that time. And the very next competition, I was selected, and it was the International Scrabble Championship, where students from all international schools come to participate. And on that day, I was really nervous because it was my first ever competition, and I'm competing against people who know Scrabble really well. So at the end, we played all the games, and we were awarded as the runners-up of the International Scrabble Championship. I was over the moon. I was so delighted that we won. And my parents were happy too. But that didn't stop me from learning. I still kept learning from the tiny mistakes I made. And I kept participating in other competitions. The biggest competition I faced so far was the All-Ireland Scrabble Championship, which was held in Lyceum, Waterloo. When I went there, I was not very nervous, but I was a little because I'm competing against people from the entire country. So we played all the games, but we lost with a very, very, very small margin. But nevertheless, we were once again crowned as the runners-up of the All-Ireland Scrabble Championship. I was so proud of myself. Looking back from where I started to where I am right now, I was so proud of myself. Friends, when you try something new, it might not be easy. You might even fail so many times, but never ever give up. It might be something you know or you don't know, but just try it. Don't hesitate to try. Just go for it. Explore, experience, and prosper in it. And one day, when you look back at your journey, mark my words, you will never regret it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Sangeethani Vijayaragam. Laughter is the best medicine for all disease. Laughter is the best medicine for all diseases by Sangeethani Vijayaragam.
Danger and fun are two that go together. But one day it might have even cost my life. It's because God, parents, and friends all began that went for a short vacation to my grandfather's house
I was apprehensive that a snake would turn around and bite. I slowly moved backwards and tried to call my grandfather and some village elders. When I told them I stopped, they immediately came with me. To my surprise, the so-called object of the snake was still lying in the same position. It had not moved an inch. My grandfather and village elders went close to the object. There were loud fits of laughter. My grandfather thought that it was not a snake, but a big black that was lying on the ground. He lifted it up and gave it to me. I took the whiplash in my hand and felt so stupid. Then I observed some of my friends having a funny smile. Later I learned that my friends had planned to surprise me by keeping a whiplash on the ground next to them. We had eaten between April 4th. It was the 1st of April 2017. That day, my friends in the church and his friends and I shall never forget it. After all these other stories, we should remember, because he said, laughter is the best medicine for all disease. Thank you.
Now we have Shahir Shia, The Lion and the Mouse. The Lion and the Mouse by Shahir Shia.
I'm sure you have heard of I'm sure you have heard of stories with lessons or morals. But have you heard of stories with many morals? Dear keynote speaker, coach, parents, and friends, have you ever heard a story called The Lion and the Mouse? Well, I have. It may seem like a simple story, but no. This story has many morals in it. The story begins in the jungle. Once there lived a lion and a mouse. The mouse was small and cute, but the lion was big and scary, and if it was disturbed, it becomes aggressive. One day, the lion was asleep, and the mouse was playing beside the lion. The lion was disturbed and was going to eat the mouse. The mouse asked for forgiveness and told that he would repay for what he did. So the lion let him go free. A few days later, the lion was tied onto a tree by some hunters. The mouse saw the lion in danger and took that opportunity to save him. So he went to the tree and bit the rope with his sharp teeth, and the lion was free. He thanked the mouse and they lived happily ever after. So, have you figured out the morals? I'll give you a clue. There's not one, but 3 morals. There are 2 more things I learned from the story, and I'll share them with you right now. The lion is strong and the mouse is weak. In the real world, the strong people don't need the help from the weak people. But in the story, the weak mouse saved the lion. This is another hint to one of the morals. Now I will share the last thing and let's see whether you can figure out all the morals. As you can see, the mouse kept his promise and saved the lion. In the real world, people don't keep their promises, and it's not good to do that. Now, have you figured out the morals? Well, the morals of the story are: 1 is to do good, 2 is looks don't matter, and 3 is to keep your promises. My dear friends, your life is full of stories, and if you look a little more closely, you will see that each story has so much
to learn from. What is the latest in your life? Have you figured out the models? Thank you.
Now we have Chantula Siritiraka. Don't Cheat, Be Loyal. Don't Cheat, Be Loyal by Chantula Siritilaka.
The worst thing about cheating is you can't never go back and reset it. Good afternoon, everyone. When I was in grade 6 at Rahul College, we got to know that our first term test was in March. In January, we did not study properly because it's our sport meet. In February, we had to study so hard because it's our first term test. We were exhausted, but we studied well. The hard days came. Exam week started. Before the civic term test, I had my class teacher's pen, which I wanted to give to him. Our class teacher is the function. She is very kind and funny. She is fair and short with curly hair like a dog. I was on my way to teacher's room to give it to her. I saw the term test papers and that was lying on that table. I saw all the questions. It all about the second lesson. Our exam was the following day. I gave the pen to my teacher and ran toward the schoolroom. I was so excited. Then I brought the news to my best friend, Tom. I was like, don't do it. It's not good to cheat. Then I said, yeah, but I saw all the questions. Then he said, okay, but study the entire book. But I didn't read the entire book. I only read the second lesson. I knew I was cheating, but I didn't mind. The next day, civic term test started. The teacher gave us papers and told us that we had 1 hour to complete it. I saw the paper and I got shock of my life. Nothing was from the second lesson. And the teacher said, oh, I forgot to give the second term test papers to another teacher. Then I realized those papers were grade 6 term. I got 60 marks for the paper and Taro got 90 marks.
What happened? What happened? I think he got stuck. Yeah, I think he got stuck. Okay. Our next speaker is Mitoshi Gamage. An Unforgettable Day. An Unforgettable Day by Mitoshi Gamage.
Have you ever done something that your parents have prohibited? And worst, have you done it secretly with someone else? Hello everyone. It was a Sunday when my mother, father and my brother were at home with me. It was a really normal and boring day. Until my brother said, hey, let's play a video game. And then he said, let's do it secretly. We were allowed to play games only when our cousins visited us. And as our father was at home, it wouldn't be the best thing we could do. My father is a really fun person who jokes and makes us laugh. But when it comes to family matter, he is very serious. So I guess playing a game wouldn't be the best option to kill the time. But as for my brother, he didn't like it when I said we could get caught. My brother is a really fun and playful boy who takes everything simple. So I said, okay then, I'll play alone, and went to the computer. Well, I didn't let him do it alone, so I went with him. I saw him searching a website for a game. How did he even know that website? Once he finished playing one game, I said, "Okay, now you're out, so let's do something else." And then he said, "I just want more," and pressed retry. And then he asked me, "Do you want to play?" I did want to play a little, so I said, "Yes," and played. About 10 minutes, we took turns and played. When suddenly my mother came into the room, and then at once I minimized the screen and waited till she left the room. Once she left the room, my brother said, "Great job," and started playing the game again. More and more minutes passed. Now we were addicted to it. When my father was downstairs sleeping, my mother was also now downstairs cooking, and now we were tired of this game. But that didn't stop our game day. We played more and more games. 10 more minutes passed, and now we were laughing when we heard a familiar voice asking, "What are you two doing?" And when we turned, it was shock. It was our father with the maddest face I've ever seen. We are doing something on the computer, said my brother. "I know that you are doing something on the computer, but I'm asking what you are doing on the computer," said my father. My brother didn't know what to do. Well, of course, we know that he knows that we are playing a game, and we didn't like the punishment that we would get. But I mistrusted the courage and said, "We're sorry, we were playing a game." And then, to our surprise, he left without punishing us. My brother asked in shock, "What happened? Why did he say anything?" And then I realized that he forgave us because we told the truth. But at dinner time, he made us promise to study all night and that there should be no homework left by the next day. My dear friends, I learned 3 lessons from this incident. 1 is that we should always be honest to our parents. 2 is that we should never do something that our parents have prohibited us to do. We should always know there's a reason behind a parent's decision. And 3 is that as an older sibling, always make sure that your little brother or sister does the right thing. If he or she does something wrong, you should be tough enough to make them stop. Thank you.
Next, we have Sanija Kulatilika. Winners Never Quit. Winners Never Quit by Sanija Kulatilika.
If we feel like we can't do something, we all feel like quitting, right? Well, here's something that happened to me when I decided not to quit, even though I was in one of the worst circumstances ever. Dear keynote speaker, coach, parents, and friends, it was the time for the annual inter-school tennis tournament. The tournament was held for a whole week. Our team, which consisted of 10 players, had some of the best players in our age group, and we were winning all our matches and were as happy as clams. But then, a few days later, something really bad happened. To this day, it's one of my worst experiences ever. It started like a normal day. I hopped into my car, expecting to win another match. And I went to the tournament site. I went into the cafe with my team to have breakfast. After we ate our breakfast, we went to the tennis court when our match was up. But then, suddenly, one of my teammates got sick and was sent to the sick room to get checked. He had got a viral flu. We had no choice but to add a reserve. But then, to our dismay, another player got sick, and then another and another, until our whole team was sick. It was chaos. Some of our teammates panicked and thought we had to quit the tournament. But even though we were sick, we decided to play the tournament anyway. The matches were really hard because we were sick, but we never gave up. And guess what? We won. Friends, it's really easy to quit when things are bad, thinking, I'll do it next time. But it's really hard to keep trying, even though things seem impossible. So what I learned from this experience was you can achieve anything if you never give up. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jenna Sadison. Shocking surprises are the most beautiful surprises. Shocking surprises are the most beautiful surprises by Jenna Sadison.
Sometimes the most shocking surprises are also the most beautiful surprises. My
Excuse
dear
me,
keynote
Janab.
speaker, coach.
Your head is out of the camera. Can you turn your camera upwards so that we can see you?
Okay, sir.
Yes, brilliant, brilliant.
Sometimes the most shocking surprises are also the most beautiful surprises. My dear keynote speaker, coach, parents, and friends. The unforgettable incident happened a year ago. That incident happened to my father, and it was the happiest moment for us. Yes, it was my father's surprise for the party. First of all, we decided to organize to celebrate his birthday without my father's help. The objective was to surprise him. The birthday was organized by me and my mother. We thought of a way to celebrate it, and Mom got a great idea. She told Chana, let's invite your father's school friends. So we got one of my father's friends' phone number from my father's mobile contacts. Next, we talked with him about the birthday, and we got one of my numbers and birthday, and we got one of my father's all of the other friends. My mother decided to have the celebration at Kingsbury Hotel, and we selected the menu for the dinner. After a few days, we talked to my father's friends through the phone. They were so happy, and they told, "Don't worry, we will come." Confirmed. After that, we selected the theme Old is Gold, and the color of the theme was gold and black. We decided to talk with the party organizers for decorations, and they confirmed it. We made a small invitation and we sent it to everyone and told we asked them to come on the 18th of September at 6:30 p.m. Finally, we went shopping and we bought a party clothes for my father and for us related to the theme color. After that, we successfully finished our shopping without telling our father. Next day was my father's birthday. A few days before, we told to my father there is a party on the 18th of September, so we have to go. So he gave us permission to go. Now I'm going to tell what happened on that day. On that 18th, we went to the COVID with my father. After that, he went to his shop and we came back to house. Next, we got ready to go to the party at 4 p.m. We told our father and we left our house at 6 in the evening. We reached at 6:45 at Kingsbury Hotel. All his friends and already came there. All his family members were there. All his new friends had also came there. My father was only one missing.
Finally, my mother decided to call him at 7:30. Please come and pick up us. The party is over. So my father came there at 7:45 to pick up us from the shop. At that time, all the lights were switched off, and all of us stood by the entrance. The cameraman was focused on entrance. My father came slowly to the entrance, and suddenly we switched on the lights and shouted, "Happy birthday!" He was so surprised that he cried. The dancers were dancing, the singers were singing, and his friends hugged him and wished him. After we brought him to the room, we gave him the party clothes. Next, we started to celebrate. We cut the cake and I delivered a speech about my father's and one of the best singers in Sri Lanka sang my father's favorite song. And the dancers danced a marvelous dance. We gave the written gift to all the visitors with lifelong memorable gifts never seen anywhere. Finally, the party ended on a very happy note. Yes, friends, it was a really very interesting. Fathers are our gods. They are our role models. We have to thank them throughout our life, even though we made a lot of effort for his birthday party. I know for sure that our effort was nothing compared to what my father does for us, and I am sure every father works hard. So, my dear friends, please love your father and cherish them as best as you can. Thank you.
Next, we have Danuja Fernandez. Always listen to your elders. Always listen to your elders by Danuja Fernandez.
Sometimes an old person keeps telling you something and it's really annoying and you don't want to listen. Have you done that? My dear keynote speaker, coach, friends, and family. One beautiful day, me, my sister, and my grandmother were at our house while my parents went to work at the office. And my sister was doing an online class as usual, and my grandmother was reading a book. But I was bored, so I thought of playing cricket by my own. So I took my bat and ball, but my grandmother said, "Darling, you can't play that now. Wait until your mom and dad come here." But as usual, I ignored her and went to play cricket. Our grandmother won't let us go outside as a kid, but I really need to go outside. So I threw the ball up in the air and hit it as hard as I can like Kumar's under a car. It flew way beyond the bamboo. There's an abandoned property next to our house. It's like the amazing forest. I don't know what kind of creatures live there, but the ball went there. And my grandma started scolding me again. But I ignored her again and ran like the wind to the abandoned land. I saw the ball. The abandoned property was guarded by an old rusty fence. I saw the ball, so I tried to take it from my bag. And after trying, it came next to the iron fence. So I put my hand through and took the ball. But I was a scratching my thumb. I thought it was nothing. And once I went to my house, my grandma started scolding me again. But I took the ball. Nothing happened. Just a little scratch from that fence. My grandmother looked. She told me, "Put it, run wash your hands and put some medicine. There might have been rust in the fence." So I ran and washed my hands. And when I went to look for medicine, I couldn't find any. I couldn't call my mom because she said me. And there's no point of calling my father because he might not even know we had medicine at our house. Okay, I had terrible feeling something was going to happen to me. So I went to my best friend Google. I got goosebumps. I was right as a ghost. Millions of thoughts got into my head. Oh my God, I'm going to die from tiredness. I can't die. I'm too young to die. And I started crying. but my grandmother was laughing at me. No way to contact my mom, so I called my father and told him to come soon as possible and take me to the hospital. I said I was going to die from tetanus. Those were the most scary hours of my life. And once my parents came home, my mother couldn't stop laughing and showed my vaccine card and told me that I had my tetanus jab a few years back when I was little. Finally, I returned to Earth. But my mother asked me how I got this scratch in the first place. She told me, "How many times have I told you to listen to your grandmother? She's a lot more older than me." So he asked, "Young man, you must listen to your grandmother, or something might happen to you." So my dear friends, it may be really annoying, but please do listen to them, because they are a lot more older than us, and more importantly, because they love us unconditionally. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Prasanna Welgamge. Talking to New People. Talking to New People by Prasanna Welgamge.
A while back, I was speaking with a relative I had never met before. My parents encouraged me to talk with her, but you see, the pandemic had done some damage to my social skills because I couldn't just interact with this stranger. "Hello," she said, but all I offered was a strange smile and a wave of my hand. Have you ever been in a situation like that? The painful awkwardness of conversing with strangers? Keynote speaker, coach, parents, and friends. I could rant about how my favorite TV show was a masterpiece with undying confidence to my friend, but yet I couldn't introduce myself with one simple sentence to a stranger. But it's not that I couldn't, but that I wouldn't. I was unwilling to introduce myself to this person because of the innate lack of familiarity and trust I had. Talking to someone you don't know is uncharted territory compared with talking to someone like my sibling or my friend. The things I don't know about this person make it difficult and scary. I might talk too much. They might shut down. I might shut down. They might talk too much. I might get bored. There might even be an uncomfortable silence. We tend to follow unwritten social norms in every context, but we may not always be sure. Revealing a certain fact about ourselves make us appear more credible or likable. We always want to be liked or well accepted by other people. But despite the awkwardness, the missteps, and the unsure footing, talking to new people, even strangers we won't ever see again, is good for us. Yes, it's going to be awkward. Yes, it's going to be scary. But this stranger can now be a friend. I think with almost roughly a year at home and not a lot of social interaction with new people, my social skills and gaining friend abilities have definitely deteriorated. But I'm not going to let that stop me from trying to build new relationships. Like I said about my relative, although the conversation was initially incredibly awkward, that relative of mine, once I got to know her, well, she's a wonderful person and we have much in common. And I'd rather deal with the initial awkwardness than miss opportunities of knowing great people.
Our next speaker is Matashkaran Kirubakar. A Race Against Time. A Race Against Time by Matashkaran Kirubakar.
You might have been in a race with your friends, but have you been in a race against time? Well, dear keynote speaker, coach, parents, and friends, it was my first time on a cruise. It was absolutely breathtaking. We never expected any race in the cruise. Instead, we were looking forward to a calm holiday. I found it truly fascinating how these large ships could facilitate so many passengers, crew, and staff members with pools, buffets, and various fun activities like rock climbing, skating, and all the food. Food of various cuisines, all in one ship. Every day in the cruise was full of fun and excitement, except for the fourth day. We had the biggest scare of our lives. The previous night, we had left Malaysia, and in the morning, we had docked in the Singapore dockyard. We were given a limited amount of time for shopping before the ship left. Excited, we all left the dockyard to explore Singapore and to do a quite lot of shopping. Everything went well for us. Then disaster struck. Our taxi driver was supposed to take us to our boarding dockyard, took us to a wrong boarding site in a completely different dockyard. We were racing against time. The ship was scheduled to leave in an hour, and due to the traffic, it would be a race against time if we wanted to get to the dockyard on time. My mother handled the situation smartly. Instead of panicking like me nor my sister, she immediately turned on the navigation and told the taxi driver, "Follow these directions to the correct dockyard." She also understood the possibilities of us missing the cruise. Hence, she contacted our tour guide and said, "There's a possibility of us missing the cruise. So could you please clear our baggages and keep it with you?" The tour guide agreed. But she didn't stop there. She also checked for the next available flights from Singapore to Sri Lanka, just to be prepared for the worst case scenario. However, the taxi driver drove fast but safely through the peak traffic hour time in Singapore, and we arrived at our destination on time. If we had even been 10 minutes late, we could have missed the cruise. So friends, if you find yourself racing against time, you might find it easy to slip into panic like me and my sister, but that is the worst thing you could do. Keep a cool head and prudently pick your pathway, like me, like my mother, and you can win any race. Thank you.
And now we have Sudarshan Abhinaya. Treat everybody in the same manner. Treat everyone in the same manner by Sudarshan Abhinaya.
Have you ever looked at someone and thought he doesn't look normal? And have you ever treated such a personality in a different manner? Have you ever looked at someone and thought he doesn't look normal? And have you ever treated such a personality in a different manner? My dear friends, coach, and keynote speakers, when I was in grade 5, I met Ptolemy for the first time in my life. He wasn't a normal child. When I went back to my home, I said to my mom, "Mommy, I met a boy who seemed abnormal and he has some mental issues." Then my mom said, "Son, you should not disturb him. Don't be afraid of him. Just think him as the normal child in your class." I was thinking about my mom's advice all over the night and I did not sleep. When I was entering the school next day, I was thinking about my mom's advice. At the school, Ptolemy got really angry and started hitting some boys. Then the days passed on. Then there came the day which I really hate. That was Children's Day. You might wonder, why doesn't he like the Children's Day? That's because anyone wants to take me to play together. I was entering to the school not very happy, and I sat on a rock on my school grounds. I was really bored and lonely. Then suddenly, something weirdly happens. That mentally unsounded boy came and called me for a play. I was so happy and I went and played with him. Ptolemy used to hit others and gets angry because most of them makes fun of him and used to run when he comes near. But I was the person who gave him respect and never made him angry. So friends, remember, give respect and gain respect. Nowadays, most of the elders does not know how to treat others as they all wanted to be treated. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Hamaya. How I Got Rid of My Fears. How I Got Rid of My Fears by Hamaya Rizvi.
What would you do when you see your biggest fear? Will you face it or run away from it? Here is what I did. Dear keynote speakers, coach, parents, and friends, it all started when I was 7 years old. It was a weekend, so there was no school for me, and my dad also had no work. And the best thing was our relatives came to visit us. So we planned to go on a trip. But first, we had our lunch with our relatives, and then we traveled to Vihara Mahadevi Park in a van. After hours of traveling, we finally made it there. It was so beautiful with green plants, fresh air, and lots of beautiful sceneries. Then we entered the place with beautiful statues and rocks. We took a lot of pictures. We had so much fun until I saw a huge pinton carrying a man's neck, who's as long as a broomstick. I was terrified because I have phytophobia. Do you know what that means? It means the extreme fear of snakes. To make it even worse, my dad was holding the creature as well. But I wasn't the only one scared. My sister was also terrified. She screamed and ran behind my mom. I didn't want the others to find me a coward, so I was acting brave. Suddenly, my dad came near me and asked, "Do you want to touch it?" I panicked, but without any fear asked, "Why doesn't that creature bite anyone?" He replied, "If we hold its neck, it will surely bite us, but if we hold its tail, it won't bite us." Then I asked myself, why should I be afraid then? It's time to get rid of my fears. So I touched it, and my confidence began to rise. Strangely, after that day, I was never scared of snakes. Today I'm here after facing my biggest fear. Might feel scary at the beginning, but when you face it, it's no big deal. So think of your fears too. Do you really think it's that scary? No, it is just in your imagination where you think it will kill you. Remember the words of Dale Carnegie. Do the things you fear to do and keep on doing it. That's the quickest and surest way ever to yet conquer fear. Thank you.
Next, we have Ananda Kumar Graham. Patience is a mason to build up team. Patience is a mason to build up teamwork by Ananda Kumar Graham.
Patience is the mason to build up teamwork. Children's Day is fun, isn't it? Well, for me, it was different. Dear keynote speaker, coach, parents, and my dear friends, the last time when I had my regular boring online classes, my sir assigned a group as the Children's Day Committee to organize something interesting on October 1st. And out of the blue, I was assigned as the leader. And I thought it would be an easy peasy task. Right after our online classes came to an end, my phone got notifications in the speed of light. There were so many messages that my phone glitched and rebooted on its own. Then I opened WhatsApp and I saw literally 30 groups which said Children's Day Committee. Then I called my friend who created all these groups. The next second he answered the phone, I started screaming at him. Why on earth did you create all these groups? And the worst is these spam messages like I made noodles with sausages. And another, I bought goldfish. Who cares? He replied, uh, uh, and declined the call. I was wondering, wait, what? And I was so angry. That day, I assigned an online meeting. When everyone joined, I started screaming at the boys who sent those unnecessary messages. Then, eventually, everyone started shouting, fighting, and some the worst started criticizing me. My dad was listening to this conversation. When the conversation came to an end, my dad came near me and said, Rehan, don't you expect everyone in this world to listen to you? Because everyone is different from each other. Getting all these different people together is an uphill battle, but to lose patience is to lose the battle. After listening to my father's words, I felt the importance of being patient and decided not to control anyone by being aggressive. Guess what? It worked! Our class sir said that I had organized the best Children's Day ever. My dear friends, have you ever been in a situation that you had to bring together many different people together and getting angry because you didn't get what you expected? In those moments, remember my father's advice. To lose patience is to lose the battle. And for that, to win the battle, first you had to win your team. And for that, you need first to appreciate the differences. Listen and lead with patience. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Ginesh Piasundar. A day I vividly remember. A day I vividly remember by Ginesh Piasundar.
Good evening, my friends and keynote speakers. The most I remember of me is the day spent in Unarna Beach. Actually, it is very nice memory to even today. We went to Unarna Beach and stayed in a hotel very close to the beach. Sometimes waves were coming the stairs of the hotel entrance in beach side. Sometimes on the wall as well. In the morning, I, my sister, my cousin had sea bath. We enjoyed very much. In the morning, the waves were very calm and quiet. We swam well and we did not want to come out from the sea. We were feel very happy. We built sand palaces on the wall on the beach. Sometimes they were all destroyed by the waves, but we felt happy. At about 2 p.m., waves were so high. Actually, it is we couldn't be even in the beach. We sat on the beach and we tried to touch the floor. It was so fearful time. Strong waves hit us. We shouted in fear. Actually, we were in the sea for 8 hours. Our skin turned black color, and then in the evening we had our meal and we came back to the Colombo. On the way, to Colombo, we were very sad. Even today, if I had time to memorize of the sea bath, I feel happy. Thank you.
Our final speaker is Chirana Iman.
One of the most unforgettable memories in my life. One of the most unforgettable memories in my life by Chirana Imangi.
Shirana, your audio and video have not been switched on. They seem to be disabled.
What would you do if you are not careful in your life? Dear keynote speaker, parents, and my dear friends. Well, today I'm going to talk about one of my unforgettable memories that reminds me to be careful for others who are present to our lives. This happened to me when I was in grade 3. My little brother Sasan was playing with me when he was a toddler. I didn't know how to play with him because he was a little fellow. At the time, I could remember I had to do my school homework with my mother, but I couldn't tell my little brother to play with my father because he couldn't understand. So I told my mother, "Can we go there and see what my brother is doing?" And she said, "Okay, but you have to do your homework." Then I agreed with her. Then 2 minutes ago, I tried calling my brother, but there was no response. I know I did something wrong. Little fact about my brother. He's a toddler who has beautiful black curly hair, black eyes, and he's very small. He loves to play and very curious about the world. Stepping outside of my house, I tried calling my brother and I saw my father. Then I asked my father, "Daddy, did you see the little fellow?" And he said, "Yes." That my brother was playing with his toys in the room. So I rushed to see what is he doing. Well, surprisingly, my father said was right. He was playing in his room happily, just like a cuddly koala. And after that unforgettable day, I remembered look after my brother, and he was precious in my life. So, dear keynote speaker, parents, and my dear friends, my advice to you, even if something happened to you in your life, be careful and remember to look after others who are dear to you. Thank you.
Ovin, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself. Okay, great. You are unmuted.
Amar, can you hear Ovin?
No, I cannot. Ovin, you're not audible.
Amar, can you help him out, please?
Okay. Ovin, do you see your mute button? Sure. Can you show me a thumbs up? Are you in your computer or are you in your phone? In your computer? You show me a thumbs up if you're on your computer. Just is it your okay, your computer, right? Do you see the mute button? Thumbs up. Right. Okay. Right next to the mute button, do you see an upwards arrow? Right. Click on that. You should see something called audio settings. Click on that. Right. Now you should be able to see speaker, microphone, all of that. Right. Microphone. Like, try changing your microphone. There should be a drop down where I can change the microphone. Do you see a button called test mic? Right, there's a box right next to it. Microphone, it should say something. So click on that box and then see if you have different options. You don't see any other option. Right, I think I heard you, Ovin.
Can you hear me?
Yes, brilliant. Brilliant, okay.
Can I start now?
Yes, please, continue.
That was an excellent performance by some excellent speakers. Let me remind you that it was the students who came up with the idea for their speeches, and it was they who wrote the speeches. That is why they deserve another big round of applause. Now, are you curious to know how these children transformed to become such amazing speakers? Well, let's listen to the people behind the screen. Let me invite the coaches. Mr. Farviz Imamuddin, Mr. Sharif Millar, Ms. Kitmiguna Sekara, Ms. Hanna Hazar, and Ms. Shakyanatha Vitarana to the screen.
Thank you, Ovin. So Sharif will not be joining us because he's joining us from Qatar. So there's a clash with the timings, and Hamra is not feeling well, and Kitmi is out. So yes, so it's me and Shakya once again. Shakya, what do you have to say?
Since it is indeed a very special day, I'd like to take you all back to the very first day that I was appointed to my first class. And I think it will forever remain a day that I will hold dear and will also always remember, probably for the rest of my life, because that was the first class that I had to teach. And while I did feel extremely excited to teach, it's only natural, I suppose, to feel a little anxious and a little jittery because you don't know what to really expect when it comes to your first class. Will the kids like you? Will you be able to teach the lesson effectively? Will they learn from you? And with all these questions buzzing in my mind, I remember sitting back after the class and thinking about the entire experience. And the only feeling that I can tell you and describe to you feeling is extremely warm. Warm to be able to be blessed to have an opportunity to teach, but also warm because I was in the company of young students and young children who really had the world waiting for them. And when you look at them, there's always so much of wonder in their eyes. And there's this beautiful quote which says that children see magic because they look for it. And I think I found my magic by looking at them and realizing that this was something that I truly loved and was truly passionate about. But more than that, what I've also come to realize throughout by working with these children right throughout, is that children really are not things that are meant to be molded. In fact, they are people to be unfolded. And each of these students, despite being a little shy, maybe looking for their confidence and their niche and their space to shine in, were without a doubt extremely talented and gifted in so many beautiful and wonderful ways. And I think what we do here is really at Speak is genuinely to help that student find that little spark within themselves. And as a result, I think they truly flourish because they themselves see the tiny spark that they have. And we've all been children, and we realize that when we find our spark, it makes us feel special and we feel like we are glowing. So just like that, it really has been such an amazing journey. And I'm so proud of all of you here because you keep shining every single day. And it's an absolute pleasure and joy to watch you shine. And you all are blessed and gifted really to be able to come for classes like this, because during our times we wouldn't have had and heard of classes like this. But now you have a space to really find out what you have and what potential you have to discover. And the skills you learn here will never, ever go to waste. They will hold you in good stead right throughout your schooling years. Even when you grow up and start working, whatever you do, these skills are quintessential and will hold you in good stead. So don't stop here, because learning never stops. Continue to grow and be the best version you can be of yourselves, and always leave with the skills that we have taught you and hold them close to your heart and keep learning. So it really is a joy and a pleasure. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be here and to be teaching these kids. I really am lost for words when it comes to this, because I am truly humbled and overjoyed as well.
Thank you, Shakya. That was wonderful. Some real heartfelt thoughts and some inspiring words that are much needed. But my thoughts about this entire session, not only this entire session, but the process that we feel day in and day out at Speak, is that most of the time we tend to misunderstand public speaking, or rather we tend to narrow down public speaking to a set of skills, to non-verbal communication, vocal variety, hand gestures, facial expressions. This is what we boil down public speaking to. But that is not public speaking. Public speaking is an art that not only gives you the skill to express and articulate your idea in front of an audience, but it also instills that very essential human value of empathizing with the audience and expressing your idea in such a way that the audience will be able to understand what you say. So what these kids learned during this period, or what these kids got up to during this program, is not they didn't just acquire a set of skills. That's not what they acquired, but they discovered themselves. That's what happened during the process. Most of them discovered something that they thought that they could not do. We experienced this because every evaluation brings out a new speaker. What they could not do at a previous evaluation, they will be able to do in the next evaluation. Like, for example, most of the kids discover that they can be authentic, that they can actually express an idea without being mechanical. And that is a discovery of themselves. And that is what I think is vital. And that is the experience, the vital experience that kids gain through a program like this, because they discover their true potential. They discover that they can grow there's no need to be stagnant. So it's not just a program, once again, where you learn a set of mechanical skills. These are skills for life. You learn to empathize with the audience and express the idea or articulate your ideas in such a way that you feel with the audience, and you will be able to impart something to the audience where the audience will be able to feel back with you. And that is a sign of a good leader, and that is what public speaking does to you. And also in the process, you begin to discover yourself. You learn to discover that you don't need to be stagnant. You don't have to be fixed. You can grow. You have the potential to grow, and every single person has the potential to grow, because every single speaker who participated tonight was not the same person who did their first speech. They were entirely different. Of course, they were in different levels, but they had progressed. And that is what matters. And that is what public speaking to me is. It's instilling some vital life skills that are essential for us to become great leaders in the future. So with that, I'm not going to prolong my rant. I'll stop here and I'll open the floor to comments and questions, maybe from students or parents. Whatever you want to say, the floor is open. If you have a bone to pick with us, you can do that as well. We are live. Okay, go ahead. Anyone? Yes?
Sir, do we have in Speak level 3 as well?
Yes, we have Speak Club, right? That is level 3 now. Speak Club is a club of the kids, by the kids, for the kids. Everything is done by the kids in that club, right? So you have Abdullah, who was the guest speaker, and Tisumi, and Haya, who was the moderator, and Netula, all of them are members of Speak Club. Now, Amna. So what that club offers you is the opportunity to not only improve your speaking skills, like prepared speaking, impromptu speaking, the skill to persuade, right? Persuasion skills, vital, to agree and disagree, and also to persuade a person in such a way that you'll be able to convince using logical arguments. And also it gives you the opportunity to practice and implement your leadership skills, right? Because like I told you, it's a club of the kids, by the kids, for the kids. The decisions are taken by the kids, and we implement the decisions that are given by the kids in the club. So if you walk into the club, there are so many things that we have implemented in the club which came from the club members, not by us, right? So it gives them the opportunity to make mistakes and learn early, right? So fail early, learn early, right? Rather than waiting until you're 20 years old to walk into a company or an organization and fail. We give you the opportunity to fail early and learn early and grow early, right? So Speak Club is there, Ipsa. We'll let you know.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I'm Jamila. I have no questions to ask, but I have something to say. Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so all I want to say is, first thing is, I've seen massive progression from level 1 to level 2, though it's just a 1 level difference. I just
Jamila,
realized it
sorry
myself.
to interrupt you. If you want, you can turn your video on, because I think the Zoom host is trying to spotlight you. Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, so I have seen massive improvement from level 1 to level 2 by myself, that I can write my own speech with really creative ways, using rhetorical devices or just fancy words, and my speaking style, my hand gestures, and just everything all. There have been a massive improvement, and my mom also told today that I've really improved so far, and I'm just making up to my final speech today. So a big thank you to you, sir, for guiding us through all these, have so many trial and practice sessions for our speeches, and
just a big thank you for everything you have done for us, and we've really learned so much
My pleasure.
from the Speak Club.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And I think a big thank you should go to you and your parents as well for trusting us and hanging on with us, because it's one thing to inspire, motivate, and encourage, and it's an entire another thing to take that in and trust us, right? So there are so many of you. So there's this boy called Chirana who just gave his speech last. He's not supposed to participate in this Speakarnival. He was supposed to have completed his speech way before, but he could not. So what he did was he attended a lot of lessons after that, until he got the opportunity to participate tonight at the Speakarnival. So yeah, Jamila, so without students like you, it's impossible for us to do what we do. And I can speak for Shakya as well here. This is something that we love, right? It's something that we absolutely love. And like Shakya told one day, that's the fuel that keeps us running as well. Yeah. Any more comments?
Abhinavan, can I have a few words of you?
Yes, Abhinavan, yeah.
Yes, sir. When I was joining to the Speak Club, I was a very shy guy, and I does not speak to my parents also even properly. But after I joined into the Speak Club, and I am having a good self confidence to speak with others and to speak freely. Thank you, sir, for that.
I could see that. It's quite obvious, and I'm really glad.
Yeah, today the Speakarnival, my auntie and all the relatives, my teachers and everyone was watching me, so that I'm feeling proud of and you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you have become an inspiration to us in turn. Anyone else?
Sir, can I go?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, Mitushi, yeah.
Actually, before I joined Speak, I never wrote a speech on my own. I usually got help. Even after I started level 1, but after little days and weeks, still I couldn't write speeches on my own. But like now, I can write a speech. I don't need no help.
Yeah.
I never told a speech this much confident ever. Even in my school, I can tell that. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And I think I told you this in the last evaluation session. I didn't tell you this, but I was like, wow, right? When I heard you speak, you heard me saying that. You're one of the very few students whose transformation actually amazed and astonished me. And these stories, these are what actually keep proving that, okay, fine, you are on the right track, you're doing something right? So keep going. So you have an amazing story to tell, Mitushi. Just like my wow that I came up with after your evaluation, your story is just wow, right? It's wow. So you should know that you have the potential to transform, to keep growing. So keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a comment to make.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, sir, before I joined the Speak Club, I knew to speak like normal people do, but I didn't know the actual thing, which is about public speaking and how to speak properly with the audience. And sir was a great inspiration for that. Great. I didn't have anyone like that because I'm not that interest on speaking and stuff, but sir was amazing, fabulous, and that's a big thank. And I wish that sir could teach me until I die.
My God.
Yeah,
wow.
I love it. I love the way you teach. That's what I say every one of my classmates, that sir teaches us like a angel. Yeah. So
Wow.
creativity, wonderful. Nobody can teach it. No one.
Thanks a lot. These are wonderful comments. My God. Yeah, I love. I don't know. It's like, without these comments, it's a passion that we love to do what we are doing, but when these things are reinforced by students, like I told, it gives us that conviction that, okay, fine, you are doing something right. Okay, so that is why I think your comment is so valuable, Rehan. I'm going to cling on to that for life. Thanks a lot.
Okay, sir.
Can I go
Also,
next?
sir, I have a
Can I tell
more thing to
something?
say.
Yeah.
Can I go next?
Yes.
Sir, can Danuja tell something?
Yeah, so Danuja or Zoom host, you can spotlight any one of them. Danuja wants to, and someone else want to go as well. Yeah. Yes, Danuja.
Okay, sir. Before I came to speak, I was just like a normal person. Knows only a bit to speak. But after I joined level 1, I was getting good at it. And after now completing level 2, I feel like I have gone a long way. And it was all because of you, sir, and all the other teachers like Shakya teacher and every other teacher. So thank you, and I am also a member of the Speak Club, and I hope to do it all of the sessions until it ends.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, Danuja. Thanks a lot for the comments. Yes, yeah. Zoom host, I can't see, but Amar, can you highlight, spotlight? Sorry.
Can I go, Nadir?
Yeah. Amar, can you spotlight Nadir, please? Yeah, Nadir.
I have few things to tell. Thank you so much for teaching us, and we have learned a lot because of you and Shaktya. And thank you so much for teaching us and making our speaking ability so beautiful. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Nadir. That's so sweet of you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And while, yes.
Yeah. So I have a tiny thing to say. I'm sorry I'm interrupting again, but I just wanted to saying this. So to everyone who's listening to this or who's not yet a part of Speak, there's something another extra improvement I really want to mention that my level 1 was I was though I said my speech I memorized, but I felt like some tightness in me. I'm not yet used to the exposure, speaking out. But this time, I was so confident within myself. I was so calm before delivering my speech. I just felt that I was connecting so much to the audience. I think that's also a lesson we learn from our sessions we have weekly. And so it's like a massive improvement from not being so tight when speaking to like being really. It's a light and free. Just speak out, speak your heart out. I think I've learned that from Speak. So then others, I get to connect with them. So that's something I have learned. And like when I did my speech today, like I felt like I'm not speaking to random people. It's like my people, and I just felt free. I had no boundaries for me to meet. So it was just it's another learning. I just want to say for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamila. That's so nice. And that's such a very important point that you mentioned. Like, when you're speaking out, you've broken free of the shackles and you feel very free when you express your ideas. And I think that is very important. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't care about what you're saying, but you should not be too conscious of yourself when you're speaking. Like, for example, what will someone else think of me, right? That is the biggest fear that is holding us back. And I think that is exactly what you're talking about. And that's amazing. That's brilliant, right? And that happens, I think, while you start speaking, you get into this flow kind of situation where you actually not only enjoy, but you are totally into what you're doing. So brilliant, amazing. I'm so glad that you spoke about it.
Can I talk about it?
Yes, Elisha, yeah.
Yeah. Before I come to this class, I was so nervous and did not even talk. I was very shy here. But from now, I saw a big improvement of me. My mother and father even told me that because for the first day when my speech was a very bit odd. From now, it was a very big improvement. So I thank you, Fariza, for guiding me, and thank you, everybody, for guiding me. Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. And if the others around you can notice your transformation, I think that's absolutely amazing.
Sir, I have a special thing to say to you.
Yes, Abhinav?
Yes, sir. When the Children's Day was occurring in our school, I was the person who said the first carnival speech for the live to my friends in my and the students in my class. But
Okay.
everyone was recording their speeches and they were screen sharing. But I was the person to tell it in front and in the lively without any nervous. That's all because of you, sir. Thank you.
So glad. Great.
Sir.
Yes, Sunny.
I feel like I've come a long way thanks to you, sir. Like right when I started public speaking, I could like barely speak in front of people, but now I was really confident when I was saying it today. And thanks for all the teachers a lot. Like, I've improved a lot because.
Thank you, Sanija. And you should know that you're an absolute inspiration as well, right? And it is because of this. I remember your first day. Right? And now when you give your speech at the level 2 Speakarnival, you're not the same person because you've come a long way. And it's not like we can implant that in you. It's only because of your hard work, your determination, your belief in yourself that you got to where you are today. So you are an inspiration, sir. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir.
You're welcome.
I would like to tell something.
Yeah, I can't see. Amar, can you hi? Tuhas is there. Tuhas wants to say something. Amar? Amar, are you there? Okay.
That was a massive improvement on my side as it's here at Speak. I learned to write my very first speech. I learned a lot from you, sir. Thank you very much, Sir Faviz. Thanks to speech, I'm a quite confident speaker now. Not only that, thanks to Sir Faviz and Speak, I was able to take part in an all-island speech competition, talking live in a huge audience, and I became second runner-up. Thank you, Sir Faviz, for making me who I am today. I will definitely keep in touch. Whenever I get a chance to take part in any speech at school, I'm so thankful for you, sir.
Thank you, Tuhas. You have a great talent not only public speaking, but also to impress and inspire people, right? And that goes beyond public speaking. So keep it up. And I think you come out as a very humble person as well, which also adds to your personality. So keep up your great work and keep working. Good job. Thank you, Tuhas.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I would like to tell something.
Yes, Ipsa, yeah.
Sir, you always help us overcome this fear of speaking, such as nervousness and not being confident enough. So you always help us to just overcome those obstacles and go forward and just do our best on stage. So I'm really, really thankful for the tremendous work you have done and also the other teachers. I would like to thank them all. And I feel that I'm improving from level 1 to level 2. I've seen some improvement in me, and all the lessons and everything, you're really you are really friendly with the children, and also you also are sharing these experiences and everything. So I really want to give out a big thank you to everyone of Speak.
Thank you. Thank you, Ipsa. And I'm so glad that you're going to continue with us, right? Because you're such a bag full of energy, right? And I love having you in the class. I'm so glad that you're going to continue with us. And yes, yeah.
I just want to say thank you for guiding me throughout. I also see a huge difference in myself. That's all I want to say.
It's okay. Shahil joined us when he was 7. He did his first Speakarnival at Trinity College, Kandy, and he joined level 2. And I mean, you should Shakya, you should see him when you do physical classes. He just keeps the class at a full hype throughout. Thank you, Shahil. So before we wrap up, right, I just want to mention something. Since Shakya is here, I want to mention something about her. Because I think most of the kids, I mean, I've been working with most of the kids. Shakya works with the 5 to 7-year-olds mostly. So I would just want to mention something about Shakya as well, something that most of you don't know. She's someone who actually constantly calls me and asks me whether there are any kids that we have to work on an individual basis, right? I don't know where she gets that energy from, but she has done some brilliant work with the kids, and there are some kids that for whose transformation the entire credit should go to Shakya. Speak is very lucky to have Shakya. I always tell her, you have to be with us. No matter how distant you become, we need you. So Shakya is an absolute strength to Speak, and the things that you are doing and the help that you are rendering to kids, Shakya, I think they're going to speak. It's going to speak volumes. It is already speaking volumes. It's going to speak volumes in the future, especially in the lives of these kids. So thank you. Thanks a lot. Keep it up.
Oh my goodness. I am honored and flattered as well. I mean, it's thanks to you genuinely that, I found the fact that I am passionate about this kind of work, because like I said, for a long while, I was very uncertain about what I wanted to do. I had a myriad of things in mind. I thought, maybe I'll be a journalist. Then I thought, hey, you know what, I'll be a detective. But somehow nothing really settled in. And when you asked me if I would like to come and try out working with the kids, there was just an instant spark. I don't know how to explain it, but my first class, I realized this is what I'm going to, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So really, thank you so much. I have learned from the best. I'm continuing to learn from the best day in, day out. And really, sir, it's big thank you to you.
Thank you. And also, give me just a few seconds. Behind the screens of this Speakarnival is Mariam and Ammar, our Zoom host. And what they have done tonight, I don't know whether you realize that this is one of our longest Speakarnivals. It's already taken 3.5 hours. And Mariam and Ammar, thanks a lot. You've done a brilliant job with this Speakarnival, and you continue to do this day in and day out. So thanks a lot for that. So with that, I'll call the coaches session a wrap. So we can go to the next event. We're going to close, by the way, right? We're not going to drag it anymore. Next is the certificate awarding session, and then we're going to, before the certificate awarding session, can we quickly have a group picture? Is that possible, Ammar? Because I don't know, after the certificate awarding session, most of the people might have run away. So let's take a quick selfie, Zoom selfie, and then proceed to the certificate awarding session. Is that okay? Ammar, can you do that?
Yes, I should be. I
Okay,
can.
right.
Can I have everyone's video switched on, please?
Yeah, can everyone please turn your videos on and shed your brightest and widest smile when the Zoom host says cheese? Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Did we take the picture?
Yeah.
We didn't even know. We had to smile, right? I didn't even.
Right.
Can you turn the? There were some who have not turned their cameras on as well.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So at the count of 3, can everyone please shed your brightest smile, right? And if you like the Speakarnival, show 1 thumbs up, and if you loved it, then show 2 thumbs up, and as many thumbs as you can. All right. 3, 2, 1. I think that's good enough.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So can you quickly move over to the certificate awarding ceremony, Amar?
Sorry.
Can you quickly move over to the certificate awarding ceremony?
Yes, please.
Yeah. As I told you, this was the longest Speakarnival in the history of Speak, because this is the 25th Speakarnival. So we wanted to have all the batches together. So we have around 40 certificates to award. It's not going to take a long time, don't worry.
I want to say something.
Yes, Dwayne. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, Sakya teacher is every time smiling. Just every day at the speak class.
I'm sorry, Dwayne. This is making me smile even more. When you're surrounded by kids such as yourself, and when you're so cute, it is impossible not to smile. So you guys are the reason behind the smile. Thank you for that.
Can I speak?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I know that this is the best class and I can learn a lot of things from this class. I wish I could have this class until I grow up as my dad. Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Thanks a lot. I'm so glad that you love this class, right? And we love this class because of you. So thanks a lot to you and to your parents.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. So Amar, can we award the certificates? Can you put up the slides, please, if you don't mind?
I do not have the certificate slide with me.
Sorry?
I do not have the certificate slide with me.
Miriam, have you got them with you? Mariam?
Yes, sir. I'll direct it to Amar. Wait, hold on.
Or you can share the screen. If Amar can let Mariam share the screen, then Mariam, will you be able to share the screen from your end? Mariam?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not in a position to share my screen.
Okay.
I've sent it to Amar. Amar will be sharing it.
Mariam, could you please tell us if it's going to take long? Will it take long, or is it ready? Mariam?
It will take about a minute or two, if that's okay.
Okay. All right. So within that minute or two, if anyone wants to say something You can do that until the certificates are ready. If you
I
didn't get,
would like to continue this class until the end so that I'm very keen for the Speak Club to join it.
all right, we'll definitely send you details about the Speak Club, Abhinudan.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so we'll share the details in the group.
Thank you, sir.
If there are any parents who wants to make any comments, you're most welcome to do that. If you didn't get the opportunity, or maybe if you have any feedback to give us about the program, please do so. We are open to critical feedback as well. If you think there's anything that we need to improve to make the classes better, then yeah.
Thanks, sir and Shakya teacher. I love this class.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Ammar, have you got the certificates?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So will you be able to share them now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Ayatullah Riaz, congratulations on completing level 1. Chenuka Lasas Hitti Kankhanamge, congratulations on completing level 1. Elisha Natari Padidilian, congratulations on completing level 1. Manal Riaz, congratulations on completing level 1. Nadir Naushad, congratulations on completing level 1. Akhilan Saikirt, congratulations on completing level 1. Akhilan Sainash, congratulations on completing level 1. Mushaf Naushad, congratulations on completing level 1. Walahevage Rinushi Netumya Sumatiratna, congratulations on completing level 1. Senuli Amavindi Sirigampala, congratulations on completing level 1. Ahmed Yusuf Turab, congratulations on completing level 1. MH Zaid, congratulations on completing level 1. Amna Ashik, congratulations on completing level 1. Ayla Al Arafat, congratulations on completing level 1. Don Dwayne Kenut Senanayaka, congratulations on completing level 1. Ramindu Mitsara Premaratna, congratulations on completing level 1. Tarun Sithmaka Galapatti, congratulations on completing level 1. Vinu Emisha, congratulations on completing level 1. Yashasvi Bhavyarana, congratulations on completing level 1. Yetumi Nilinsa Herat, congratulations on completing level 1. Yogeshwaran Ridvesh, congratulations on completing level 1. Ranut Netika Aryaratna, congratulations on completing level 1. Tasha Johansi Brielle Ranasingha, congratulations on completing level 1. Kushel Radin Devapriya, congratulations on completing level 1. Muhammad Arsat Muhammad Lukman, congratulations on completing level 1. Chantula Devmina Siritilaka, congratulations on completing level 2. Ipsa Veerasingha, congratulations on completing level 2. Sangirthani Vijay Raghavan, congratulations on completing level 2. Danuja Senhas Fernando, congratulations on completing level 2. Ananda Kumar Rehan, congratulations on completing level 2. Sanija Tisal Kulatilaka, congratulations on completing level 2. Velgamage Prasanya, congratulations on completing level 2. Sutarsan Abhinushan, congratulations on completing level 2.
Thank you, sir.
MSM Shahil, congratulations on completing level 2. Yasit Satsara Sirivardhana, congratulations on completing level 2. Janab Satasivam, congratulations on completing level 2. Sara Falil, Jamila Rizwan, congratulations on completing level 2. Matesh Karan Kirubakaran, congratulations on completing level 2. Mitushi Gamage, congratulations on completing level 2.
Thank you, sir.
Amaya Mohammed Rizvi, congratulations on completing level 2. Gineth Kitmuka Sampat Piasundara, congratulations on completing level 2. Tuhas Dinsara Tilakaratna, congratulations on completing level 2. Piranav Satasivam, congratulations on completing level 2. Chirana Imanjit Vidana Patirana, congratulations on completing level 2.
Thank you.
All right, okay. I hope everyone got their certificates. Amar, you can invite for the vote of thanks. Amar, Mutumania is there. Amar,
With that interesting and inspiring keynote speech, the 25th Speakarnival has come to a close. I'm sure all of you enjoyed this event. It was a wonderful event with an array of interesting speeches and one life-changing keynote speech. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our keynote speakers, the students, for enlightening and entertaining us with their wonderful speeches, the role players from Speak Academy, parents, coaches, guests, the Zoom host for today, finally, Mr. Farouiz Imamuddin. I wish you all the best and wish you a very good night. Thank you.
thank you and good night.
Thank you, sir, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good
Bye,
night,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Night, sir.
Bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for all the lovely lessons.
Good night, Miss Sakya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
See you.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
1